Man, this windy as hell.
I told you I'm here to get it, cause baby, I'm in my prime. So if you want it, come with it. Nobody dimming my shine. Been a long time, homie, since I first got down. Still on top of my game, forever play to the crowd. When I'm in front of a mic and I'm in the spotlight, the Gridiron, man, we taking y'all on a flight. Always coming for the hardcore, this is what I work for. Got 'em feeling for some more, they yelling encore. Verbally, I'm bringing heat to the streets. The flames spit on my squad, nothing but winners, and you'll never see a quitter. Cause adversity is part of the plan. Just as sure as you go, always bob your head to the jam. So turn your volume up, you can see me up on your screen. Kicking knowledge like you need it, y'all some football fiends. Bringing heat at 100, we the realest around. Welcome to the Gridiron, baby, it's going down now. Like the music buzzing in amps, when I hit the end zone, fans are rocking the stands. Cause I'm an already known until the breaking the dawn. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the field. It's the battle hymn, homie, gonna bang in your ear. And when they hear it, they gon' know the Kings is here. Already known until the breaking the dawn. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the field. I'm here to get mine, never gonna dwell on the past. Always moving forward, I won't take my foot off the gas. And I'm ready for the battle and whatever may come. I fight from up in the saddle, go and beat that war drum. If you want some, get some, wicked about to get dumb. Got the crowd getting loud, everybody heads sprung. Hitting hard and coming stronger like a buck from a cage. Like Micah, I'm a lion busting out of my cage. Cause y'all ain't holding me now, I'll break your bury you down. Go and check your books, cause there ain't no play to be found. They can counter what I'm bringing, you ain't figure me out. Hitting suckers from their gut to their chest and their mouth. And now we steady climbing up to the top. You trying to get on our level, they watch your ass get dropped. Yo, it's your boy on the track, the OG double G. I'm rolling with the heavy hitter, yeah, that's Jersey the King. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are in the building. What is going on, everybody? Got a great show for you today. Gabe, how you feeling today, brother?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Lots to talk about, bro. It's all right, though.
Yes, sir. The UFL. Do y'all love us? Y'all must love us. Because we've been asking for this, and we finally got it. So we're going to get into the latest UFL news.
Damn
as well
time.
as, you know what I mean? As well as some more NFL coaching carousel. Super Bowl's, what, a week away? There's a lot to talk about, y'all. We're going to get into it. We got fan mail questions, and we got a new topic of the week. So let's get into it. Let's start this show off the right way, baby. It's the Gridiron. Let's go. My bad, y'all. I didn't mean to loop it, but we did it anyway. Good morning, y'all. Happy Saturday.
You just have a thing for the intro, bro. That's it. That's it.
I do. I really do. And then the new song is just, everything goes so well. But welcome into the Gridiron, you guys. It's going to be a great Saturday. Happy Saturday to you all. We got a lot to talk about today. The UFL has been making a lot of moves as far as signing players, drafting players, coaching news as well. Rice Stadium is going to be the only college stadium that hosts UFL games this season. And of course, that's going to be down there representing them Houston boys for the Houston Roughnecks. So it's going to be interesting to see how this season goes as well, because of the new schedule that has been released you thought. Now, Monday. Monday is what we're hearing. And actually, it's what has been posted all over the place. Good morning, Jackie, a.k.a.
What's up, Jackie? How you doing, girl?
From
What's
the
up, Rig?
Podcast. Rig Rocker, welcome in, my brothers. How you feeling today? Yes, sir. Roughnecks Nation. He's the big representative of the Roughnecks Nation, super fan of the Roughnecks as well. And some more UFL news. My guy to the left, he's got that Renegades Fan Nation page up. So make sure you guys go and join the Fan Nation page, the Arlington Renegades Fan Nation, and that show's going to be coming soon. We'll keep you guys updated on all the latest information for the Renegades fan show.
I got the page up, Renegades Fan Nation. I've also got a group. That's if you just follow the league and you want to support the page, then it's a public page. But I also got a group that's gonna be, just mainly strictly for Renegades fans. So follow the page, y'all. That's all I'm saying. All right. I'm a Renegade, baby, Renegades. That's all I'm saying. They're up in our chat, bro. They're already coming at me with the Brahmas and Roughnecks. I gotta represent.
Definitely, but
I gotta represent. You know what I mean? Because we are king. That's all I'm saying.
I like that. I'm loving the logo. I'm loving the pic. But
what's up, Angel?
I'm gonna just let you guys know. This year, I will be assisting in covering the Arlington Renegades. Doesn't mean I will be rooting for any specific team, since my Vipers.
That's all right, bro. That's all right. Let it out. Let it out, Jersey. That's why we have all gathered here to just let it out.
Next week, I'm going to be making some more contributions to the Vipers Nation. I'll keep you guys updated. But make sure you go and sign that petition that I shared again today for the Vipers. What's going on, Angel? Welcome in. We want to bring the Vipers back, or at least a Vegas franchise, back to the UFL, back to spring football next season. So go sign that petition, guys. Make sure you show some love to the Vegas Nation, and let's keep a franchise out here. That's the big thing. We're trying to keep the Vegas franchise out here. So definitely. Rick says he'll be checking out the Renegades fan page. Oh, yeah. And Jackie says Reno who, or Renee who? Oh, it's going down today. He said, hell no, I'm a Roughnecks and I still want in.
Look for the group too. It's under the same thing, but it's a group. I have the page, the public page, and then there's going to be the group, which everybody can kind of post stuff and everything. So that's all good, Rig. I'll let Rig in. I don't care. I'll let one troll in. Okay, one troll per fan base.
Now, I don't know. Jackie says the Brahmas will happily adopt me into the Stampede. Listen, how about this? This season in the UFL, I'm going to root for every team. I'm going to root for the league. I'm going to root for success. That's the best I can do. I can't just decide on one team. You know what I mean, Gabe? Like,
you gotta let your heart decide, bro. You gotta let your heart decide. The corazón will tell you, this is the squad I find myself rooting for every week when I'm watching these games. You know what I mean? That's how it is. You start watching, and then over the weeks, it's I'm trying, Angel. I'm trying, okay? I got to get my boy to follow his heart. You just watch each game every week, and by but still not happily. We'll still take you. Yeah, that you're still allowed in the group, all right? Because y'all are the family, so it's all good, man. We're all fam here, so
look, everybody trying to recruit me. Rig, I guess I'm the orphan, huh? I guess I'm the orphan super fan because I don't have a team.
I'm just saying, like, you might as well just find a place at home with the champion, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right.
I do rock with Bob Stoops. That is my guy. I do love me some Bob Stoops coaching.
You know what's cool, bro, about this schedule? The news on that though is like now we're excited. Now we're like, hell yeah, get us to week 1, baby. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be even more excitement on Monday when that thing drops, man. So the Reno Gate. Oh. You better show some respect to your king. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Show some respect to the king.
They are the reigning.
We're gonna start with the Brahmas, baby. I mean, not the Brahmas. I'm sorry, Jackie. I don't know why I said that. We're gonna start with the Stallions. All right, that's what we're gonna start with this season. I really want to see who everybody else is playing though. First. Doesn't mean you have to like.
I like this.
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
It's a good
But
point. But
I mean, I love
I
the
mean,
state of
they play right
Texas.
across the street from each other, though, so it makes sense.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So, we used to actually play or practice in the Alamo Dome, so it's like a second home to us. I'm
Well, the
just
Alamo
saying,
Dome, yeah, you're talking about no.
you know, what's going on, A Train? Welcome in, my brother. Make sure
What's
you
up,
guys
A
go and
Train? How you doing, brother?
follow A Train, the Pro Football Alliance, the X Fan Show, the Fuel Fan Show. You guys got to put me up on and remind me again of what Fuel stands for. I believe it's Fans United Experience League. So make sure you guys go and follow the Fuel social medias. Follow X Fan Nation. I mean, there's so much. My words are jumbled right now. There's so much emotion going on, or you have decisions to make on a team to root for. But I mean, you can't bet against Luis Perez. I'm just saying. You can't bet against Luis Perez. Hey, Angel.
I don't care, Angel. You're renegade. You don't have a choice.
You might just have to, you know.
You know what though? Like the more
We might
like
just have
you
to.
watch these games and let your heart decide. That's the way I see it, man. That's the way I see it. Watch the games every week, root on every team, but little by little, you're gonna start realizing, damn, you know what? I'm rooting a little harder for this team every single week than everybody else. You know what I mean? So that's
This is big news too here. The YouTube sensation, the guy who runs the 1v1s that you always see destroying the YouTube sensation.
I love those videos, bro. I love his content. His content is so dope. It is. It really is.
Man has got the opportunity to sign with the San Antonio Brahmas of the UFL as a kicker. That's big.
That's big. We'll see how he does. Man. We'll see how he does. But
this man is actually talented.
Yeah. I don't, and I mean, who knows? He may not do well as a kicker. He may do well. What this is doing right now, automatically, bro, is it's marketing. Marketing. Yeah. I mean, and he's going to be doing his videos, from his firsthand view. So that's going to put a lot of eyes, like his followers. That's going to put eyes on the Brahmas and the league as a whole. So this is so dope, bro. And not, you know what, like you said it the other day in one of your posts, how this guy's done a lot, to put other players out there and stuff like that, and other people. And I agree. So that's why I dig this, man. I'm glad that the UFL is doing this and the Brahmas are doing this, and I mean, best of luck to him, bro. Best of luck to him.
Do you think the Alamo Dome is going to compete with selling out?
It could. I mean,
with the Battlehawks,
it's possible. I think this move alone is going to help because of the amount of followers that Destroying has. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to help. There's going to put a lot of eyes there, and it also depends on the team. Now, the first couple of weeks, I expect it to be like jam packed there in San Antonio. We'll see how the team is, though. We'll see how the team is this year, and that'll dictate, the crowds for the rest of the season, man. So,
Jackie, I think he actually has a signed contract.
Yeah, I believe.
But I get what you're saying. He will, of course, have to make the team.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be. I think he's
gonna honestly, with a startup new merger league, if I'm the Brahmas, I find a way to keep two kickers on the roster because of the marketing that this man brings with him. You know what I mean? At least for a little while.
Exactly.
At least for a little while, it would only help. Like if they have to be like, we're gonna keep you on the roster, but we got somebody who's a better kicker than you, and that's okay. But that'd be all right too. So that's what I would do. That's what I would do.
Definitely. Jackie says they are gonna flood it just to see him. I do believe that. High school footballers, college locals, the whole nine. What's going on, champ? Welcome in, brother.
What's up, champ?
Thank you for being here. Angel says Gabe trying to get me on board. just might. You might as well, man. We might as well. We might as well just go
Renegades, let's
Renegades
ride,
Nations
baby.
this year, man.
Yeah.
We might as well. Champ says The Rock was in Birmingham yesterday. Yes, I was peeping that. And
Damn, and wasn't he on
today
SmackDown last night too?
for meet with the USFL folks. Yep. He actually is going to be fighting Roman Reigns at
That boy's all
WrestleMania
over the place, man. Hey, how come that video all of a sudden popped up this morning as the most disliked video in history on YouTube? Yeah.
What?
Go back and down. I gotta find that. I'm gonna tag you in a while. But yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that. Mike Tackett, welcome in. Good morning to you. Destroying
up,
could
Mike?
absolutely help the league with his social media influence and his NFL following. I hope it brings in more talent. Same with Ocho Cinco. I think that's going to be interesting. You put Ocho Cinco on a team.
My only issue with the Ocho Cinco thing is, I'm sorry, I don't see him playing at a high level. If anybody's going to put him on a roster, it's going to be just to put him on a roster. You know what I mean? I mean,
I agree.
That would make sense. That would make sense. But that's just my opinion. You know,
and then on top of that, you got to imagine it's Chad Ochocinco. His name alone is just going to bring in fans.
Yeah.
He could get one snap, one play throughout the whole entire season. And as long as he's in a uniform and on the roster, people are going to flock. He could play every game. He could suit up for every single game this season.
I don't think he would help a team if he's suiting up every game, though. That's just my opinion.
I don't think so either.
You know, with a lot of these other guys that are younger and playing for a spot right now, but it would be huge for marketing purposes for the league as a whole. That's for sure. Watching, I'm over here talking all this stuff, and then you're gonna read tomorrow. Renegade signed Chad Ochocinco. I'm gonna be like, damn. All right. I'll be like, damn. I don't know how to feel about this right now, man.
Yeah, and Angel, you're right. Football is huge in Texas. You know what I mean? And now you're bringing in
down there, man.
You're bringing in 3 other major markets in the state. Even though it's not NFL teams, you're bringing in 3 other markets in that state representing 3 different teams: San Antonio, Arlington, and Houston. Those 3 metropolitan areas are diehard football lovers, diehard football fans, hell, diehard football players. So any and everything about football is what they eat, breathe, and shit down there in Texas. So if you live in Texas and you're not a fan of football, they look at you like, the hell's wrong? The hell's wrong with this guy?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
California. Yeah, right. Go back to California over here, migrating all of you over here. So,
Gabe's always predicting.
I'm telling you, bro. No, I'm like Nostradamus sometimes. You know, for real, man.
But like I said, man, we got a great show for you guys. Let's get into the first.
Thank you,
topic
guys.
of the day.
By the way, everybody up in the chat right now, what is up? Thank you from me in Jersey for joining us on this Saturday. Wherever you're at, wherever your neck of the woods is, man, we appreciate every one of you guys.
Do apologize that the logo's not there and the background ain't there. Life's happening, okay? It is what it is. But,
we're here.
You still see our beautiful
we're
mugs.
Here. That's it.
Look at this. Look at it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Get fresh on them, Gabe. You know?
Not me, man. Not me, man. I know I got issues all up in here, so I got to kind of distract the eyes with a little bit of Wu-Tang Clan, baby. You know what I'm saying?
And even though we're not in the Super Bowl,
which 88 is that, man? Who you got? Who is that? Is that CD? Oh yeah,
Lamb.
My boy CD Lamb. Yeah,
88 all day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I'm about to get me another. I'm about to get me another jersey this season, bro. It's I'm. You know what? I'll get to it later because it has to do with something with a player we're gonna be talking about later. So, all right.
Great question. I think Birmingham does play at UAB. But I don't think UAB is considered a college stadium. I think UAB stadium is.
Is it a separate entity?
I think it is. I think it's like just a stadium that was built for football out there in Birmingham.
You know what? What's the stadium they play at?
Damn, that's a good question. Does anybody know the name of the stadium?
Protective Stadium.
Yes, Protective Stadium. Yep.
It's Protective.
Morning,
Stadium.
Mama.
Okay.
That is my fiance's mother. Welcome in.
Okay, so
thank you for being here.
Wow, it's because I'm trying to find out what we were just talking about. But I'm not seeing nothing on Wikipedia. I just know the Protective Life is the ones that have the 15-year naming rights on it. But it was considered. It's actually operated by the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center Authority. So yeah, you're right. You're right. It's a whole other kind of
It's a
group
whole
that
different
owns that
energy,
thing.
guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Will AJ play?
That's the big question. You know what You know what I got from him? And that whole little interview was like, I don't expect him to play.
I don't either.
It doesn't
I'm gonna
sound
keep
like
it
he's
100 with you
real.
guys.
He didn't sound very optimistic. You know what I mean? It was a little too 50-50 for me.
It's a lot of $3
Man,
over here too. You know what I
Angel,
mean?
if I had that kind of power, dog, I'd have been rich right now, dog. You know what I mean? You would have seen me in some massive ass studio right now. I'd be flying
Yeah,
Jersey out here for the show every Saturday.
every Saturday. I swear to
Live,
God, we'd be doing the show in the studio every Saturday.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind. Mike says the same with Ichiro during his final season in the MLB. We knew he wasn't going to do anything mind blowing, but it's Ichiro. He draws crowds. The best thing Destroying did was tell the NCAA to kick rocks and choose YouTube over college football. Now we get to enjoy the fruits of his labor, and we do. It's an amazing thing.
Well, and that
What
that was
he's
the thing
done.
with the NCAA was like, well, you're breaking our rules, and he's like, all right, I'm out then. I'm gonna go do my own thing. And this is, man, I respect what he's done. I love the content he puts, man. When you see those one-on-one,
You got to imagine.
you see the
We
hype.
wouldn't even know about Jay Peasy like that if it wasn't for him. And some of these other guys at the wide receiver and defensive back position. If it wasn't for what he's doing with these ones, he's going around the country doing one-on-ones, wide receiver versus D-back, and a mediocre quarterback throwing him the ball. Or he'll find a good quarterback that's like an upcoming college player or a high school player that's just mind-blowing, top recruit going to a Power 5 conference college, and he's showcasing these guys.
I love it. I love
You know
it
what I
when you
mean?
see like when he brings in like some big name wide receiver, and you see like some semi-pro local dude just locking him down. You know what I mean? And it gets the crowd so hyped, man. And it gives a lot of these guys that normally don't get shine, gives them some shine.
And then on top of that, like you said, not only does it give them shine, but now those scouts are going to start looking more into their tape.
Yeah.
And now they're going to start getting looked at a lot more. So what he's doing, hell, what Ocho Cinco is doing with Shannon Sharp on the Nightcap show, just bringing attention to the UFL is massive. Everyone right now is getting excited for the UFL. They finally got some hype videos out, but I believe it's only for what? Arlington, Birmingham, DC. No, I'm sorry. It's DC for sure. I think St. Louis.
You're talking about hype videos?
Yeah. The team, the actual specific team.
Okay, Renegade's got one up. Renegade's got one.
There's
up.
a Renegades
I don't know
one.
if it's his own personal one. Yeah.
I think it's a DC Defenders one, a Memphis Showboats one, and a St. Louis Battlehawks one. I believe.
I gotta wonder, man. Like everybody's talking about St. Louis, but you know what, man? St. Louis. Let's be real for a minute. The big question was a chap that just asked this a while ago: is AJ going to play? That's going to make a big difference on the expectations of the St. Louis Battlehawks this year. I mean, let's be real with it. You're not just going to plug in any quarterback and he's going to perform at an MVP level like AJ did last year. You know what I mean? And
on top of
it's huge.
AJ and Coach Beck, they just.
Rick. Yes, it does count. It's my squad. We got a video.
You know what I mean?
He's not playing. Well, I mean that's the vibe I'm getting is that he's not going to play. Now he hasn't officially announced whether he is or not, but just because. Oh yeah, see, and just because to me, and maybe you agree with this too. When you did the interview he did, everything, it just didn't seem like you got that whole vibe, that he's even leaning on coming back. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times when the players in this kind of situation, they're like, well, I could see myself, I'm excited, to be making this decision and all this stuff, but I don't know. I just didn't get that vibe. Like I said, it was a little too 50-50 for me.
Me
You
as
know what I mean?
well. But from that video, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be 100 with you. I don't think AJ's playing.
Nah.
I don't think he's gonna play this season, especially when he was talking about the money and the difference it's been with the UFL compared to the XFL and the USFL separately,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole, what is it? The USFLPA union and all that. When you're forcing these players to be a part of a union, and they weren't last season in the separate leagues, it's gonna be different. Some people are not gonna be loving it. They're not gonna love it.
Yeah.
And a lot of these players don't like it. That's why you haven't seen Jordan Te'amo. Possibly. That's why you haven't seen De'Aaron King. Possibly. That's why you haven't heard about certain players. Maybe that's the reason why Max Borghi said he's taking a year off. It may not just be because he didn't want to play in St. Louis and he'd rather play in Houston. It could be money. You know what I mean? So we have to think of all these different obstacles that these players are having to go through just to play professional football.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's big. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get a new question for fan mail added in from Angel.
And like you talked about some of the guys that have not committed to playing yet. And I think we haven't heard a lot of talk or speculation on a lot of these guys because AJ is the big one. You know what I mean? AJ was the face of XFL last year. He's the MVP. He's the guy that really just kind of got that opportunity and got St. Louis hyped about football again, man. And so that's why I say if he does not play, there is a good chance that St. Louis Battlehawks, like the quality of what we see on the field, drops at least for half a season. It's very possible. Very possible.
I need Jeff Badet to sign somewhere too. I'm not even gonna lie. Los Mysterio, welcome in, brother. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you watching.
What's
I
up, Lo?
think that Jeff Badet not being on a team right now has a lot to do with the information that he released. Even though Mark Thompson, the running back for Houston, was over there doing the most with his Twitter posts and all that, Jeff Badet went on a podcast show and he gave the fans what we were wanting: information.
You think he's getting blackballed?
To blackball this man, or to how do I want to say it? To punish him in a way for doing something that us fans who are supporting this damn league, who are going to make it to where this league actually survives, we just wanted some information, some type of information.
And
he gave it to us, and he got in trouble.
Are you surprised though? Because we've already seen just how close to the chest and tight-lipped this new merger, this new league is being about any information. You know what I mean? We've seen that when waiting on the official damn, merger news. When they made us wait forever, we knew it was coming. It's like, what are y'all waiting for? We know it's gonna happen. So I think it's wrong. I do. I think Badet needs to get signed somewhere, but at the same time, I'm not surprised already because I'm already seeing how close knit they are with the news coming out with this new league. And that is what it is. But hopefully, I think that's why Jeff Badet, everybody loves him, man, because they were like, thank you. You gave us something, man. He gave us something to talk about. You know what I mean?
Not only that, Jeff Badet was a damn good player this past season. Yeah. Jeff Badet did a lot this past season for the team that he played with. And he was the leading receiver for the Vegas Vipers.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot. to look at. Now
You
back
know,
to AJ.
Rig, I don't mean as a fan base. I think it's going to hurt the product on the field. But the fans are going to support St. Louis no matter what. You know what I mean? They've wanted football back for so long, and they were such a great, strong fan base for the XFL that I see them still supporting. But what I meant was, I just mean, if AJ's gone, you got to bring in somebody new, learn a lot of these players again.
Yeah,
And there's no guaranteeing that. I mean, you had the MVP of the league last year, St. Louis. So I would not expect y'all just to replace him with another MVP caliber player. Is it possible? Sure. But we know the chances aren't good.
yeah, because a lot of the changes, as Los Mysterios mentioned in here, he says, I wish that the UFL was at the point that they could pay their QBs a bit more. That could help other players with their housing and stipends. They changed that up a lot due to the union, and that's one thing that AJ was talking about in that interview. Changing that up, taking away those stipends or lowering them, not covering the housing. Now you're causing these players to have to spend more money out of their pocket.
Yeah,
that's not a good look for the league.
Well, and I think the only thing that we can do as fans is spread this word of this league and get people to support it, because all that's not going to come back and happen until this league is pulling in money. Till they see that, okay, we've got a profitable thing here. Now next year, let's see what we can do to help the players. But yeah, I'm with you on that, Los. Straight up.
Definitely. I think I just seen a message from my cousin. My cousin Corey, he's a Giants fan. I just lost his message that was sitting up here. He was talking crap. He said he just came by to say that the Cowboys suck. Right here. My cousin, you're a Giants fan, Corey.
Hey, Corey.
Enough said.
How's it gonna feel if you see Saquon Barkley in the Cowboys jersey next season? I'm just saying. We need a running back. He needs a team.
He needs a quarterback because y'all signed Daniel Jones to a 4-year deal and he's trash. I mean, he didn't even get to play the first year of that new contract. And when he did play, he was even worse than he was before. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree, eh? I think so.
Agree.
Yeah, I think so.
I definitely agree with that, A-Train. If we implement private owners or local owners for these teams, a lot will change. But here's my biggest thing with the UFL now that they've merged. You've taken all these millionaires and put them all on one board of directors or board of owners or whatever you want to call it. And don't nobody want to put no extra money into anything. And this is why I think one of the reasons why the XFL and the USFL merged in the first place. Being cheap.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. Let's call it for what it is. Being cheap. Hey, if we put in 50% and you put in 50%, both of us don't have to put in 100%.
Well, but another part of that, another part of that with the whole business thing though is they also have to have some investors. And the problem with investors is they need to be convinced that this thing is going to make them a profit. You know what I mean? That's the problem with that. It's like, oh man, you know what, Rig? First of all, Houston ain't won nothing yet. Second of all, I know you like the Raiders too. And how long has it been for the Raiders? Just
Rich Gannon.
That's cool, Rig. Damn.
Rich Gannon.
You know what, though? That's good, though, man. Calling Jones QB is like calling Cowboys Super Bowl champs. Yeah, because it ain't true. And Jones ain't no quarterback. Jones ain't no quarterback. I'm going to say that.
He's not.
And we ain't Super Bowl champs, field, man. Yeah.
Hey, but guess what? We won a playoff game here. You know what, Rick? We understand.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to leave it at that. We're just going to leave it at that.
That's how Lions feel this year. Lions are like, we're champions already. We are the champions.
Dude, did you see that guy who got a tattoo
Yeah.
saying that the Lions were going to be the Detroit Lions were going to be the 2024 Super Bowl champions, and he got it tattooed on him.
Well, you know that original picture, that tattoo, he got it done last year. So he was like already expecting this year they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. You know, he had to be feeling good too. He was, getting into the playoffs. He was like, "Yeah, when I tell you, we're about to do it." And then at halftime of the NFC Championship, those lovable loser Lions that I love to freaking just bash on because your fans annoyed the crap out of me this season. Yeah, you guys showed up at halftime. Those real Lions, the cowardly Lions, they showed up at halftime, proceeded to get beat down by the 49ers. So they ain't champions. And I'm sorry. How did I take a comment from Rig and I totally ran off with that? Did I? Lions. Yeah, man.
Los says individual owners would help the league grow faster through expansion and bringing back those teams that missed the cut for the new league. You're absolutely right. You know what I mean? You're absolutely right, because if you bring in those individual owners, they're going to be putting their money up.
Yeah.
They're going to be building stadiums for their teams, building practice facilities for their teams, paying their players more money, paying out the bonuses, you know what I mean, a little bit more than the league would have to. The league will pay out bonuses, of course, still for different attributes and accolades, or it's not attributes, excuse me, different accolades and different, awards, winning a Player of the Week award or something like that. You might get your weekly bonuses and stuff like that from things like that, but bringing in individual owners will make it a lot easier for the league to expand, and you're absolutely right. But I don't think expansion is where we need to go yet. No. I think bringing back those 8 franchises that missed the cut in some way, shape, or form, even if some get moved, you know what I mean? Like the Gamblers, of course, that name, that franchise itself has to be moved. It's not going to be able to stay in Houston because it's the Roughnecks Nation now. We all understand that. But bringing back the Seattle Sea Dragons, bringing back the Orlando Guardians, bringing back the New Jersey Generals, because there's no team in New York or New Jersey.
Hey, what if, let me ask you something, Jersey. What would you do, and the name would totally make sense, if Vegas was brought back, but it was the Vegas Gamblers?
I'd be perfectly fine with it. I'd get all
the name would make sense because it's Las Vegas. You're bringing back one of the other teams, and you're putting it in a market where it was already in another league, with the Vipers that weren't able to come back. So I think those are also options, things like that, where, like you just said, the Gamblers are going to have to move either way.
Because honestly, I don't think the Vipers was a good name for the Vegas franchise anyways. We don't have no damn Viper snakes out here. We don't.
It's too damn hot. So, even the damn snakes out there, like, nah, we're going to Phoenix. It's too hot up here. Vegas fan.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't think that was a great name, but I mean, it just fit. Vegas Vipers. It just fit. But we're better off being the Vegas Gamblers or the Outlaws. I'm sorry. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So I really think that if bringing back a Vegas franchise, you got to get rid of the Vipers name. You have to bring the Gamblers name to Vegas. They don't gamble, and you know what I mean? You can't say Houston is big on gambling. It's not. Las Vegas is the biggest gambling city in the country.
Yeah.
If not the world. So, we are the kings of casinos.
Yeah.
You got slot machines in 7-Elevens. You got slot machines in your local.
Are you serious?
Markets.
I ain't never been out there, bro.
When you get off the airport, when you get off the plane at the airport, slot machines in the waiting room. All through the terminal, slot machines. There's gambling all over the city. So
then the Vegas Gamblers just makes too much sense that it won't.
It makes
happen.
too much sense. Lo says if the UFL is successful this year and profitable, what do y'all think should be the next step that management needs to do to strengthen the league?
I think that depends on how. I think that depends how profitable, though. Like, is it profitable enough that next year they say, okay, now we can help the players that we do have right now with, their housing, with all this kind of stuff. Um, and that's it, or would it be profitable enough that you can do that as well as bring in two of those teams that were left out? Because I don't see them just automatically adding everybody at once. It's going to be maybe two teams at a time. That's the way I see it. But
2 to 4. I think
yeah,
2 to 4 would probably be the
it
max.
would
The
have to
max would probably
depend
be
on
four
profit.
teams.
It would have to depend on profit because if you're gonna ask me, I'm like, make sure that you're taking care of the players that are on the teams that are there first. Make sure that
Yep,
you're getting them their housing and everything situated and taken care of before y'all decide to bring in other teams. But you can't do it for any of them. You know what I mean? That's the way I feel, anyways. Make sure you're taking care of the players that are there first, and then if you've made enough profit after the first season, then look into bringing back some of those other squads.
and that's a great question,
Yeah.
or a great topic right there, or statement there, Rick. I agree, and I've been saying this for the longest, even when it was just the XFL or the USFL. These teams need to live in their own cities
Well,
and
and that's
practice
that's
in
what
their
I'm saying. I
cities.
think that's where it would come down to. If you've got the profit to take care of the players that are there right now, then you're putting them in their home cities. You're covering their housing expenses, so that all they can have to worry about all year long is just training, and then it becomes an actual thing that these guys don't have to worry about. Man, what am I going to play next
Exactly.
year? Am I going to be making money? And yeah, like you said, like Rick said, if they're there to practice and live, then that's stability right there. Instant stability showing for the league,
Yep.
and that's going to help with investors because investors are going to be like, oh, okay, look at that. They got these players in their cities. They're practicing, they're living there, and they're playing in their own cities. This is stable enough that I want to invest in this now. So it opens up a lot of doors if you can do that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Ed, what's up, Ed? When this league blows up and they add more teams with private ownership, the Vegas gamblers makes perfect sense. Is that what you see happening? It's possible, man. It is. It's very possible.
Breaking news, guys.
What we got?
Breaking news. Former Cardinals head coach Cliff Kingsbury withdraws from consideration for Raiders offensive coordinator job.
Wow.
So Cliff won't be coming to Vegas. Just saying. But I agree, Daddy Ed. I definitely agree. Vegas gamblers makes perfect sense. Hell, the Sin City gamblers make sense. Like what Angel's saying here, it's called the City of Sin. It's called Sin City for a reason. You know what I mean? You step off the plane, you're able to gamble and start doing stuff that is considered a sin in people's eyes. So there's a lot. And you're right. They need to be more into their communities. We need, like right now, they should be having meet and greets. They should be doing things with and this is why we sit here and sometimes complain about the season starting when it does, or them like they did last year. They rushed into the XFL start of the season, as well as this season they're rushing into the start of the UFL or the UFL season. They are.
Yeah.
Because we're not getting a schedule until when?
Freaking month and a half. Almost 2 months ahead. I mean, damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like people
Doesn't
got
make
bad.
any sense to me.
Yeah. But it is what it is. We're getting it though. So I guess we just got to be happy about that. I'm excited about it though. I am.
Exactly.
I'm excited about that schedule.
The UFL already has more hype than the XFL had all of last year. It genuinely felt like management didn't care last year. I think we would see a West Coast conference in a year or two if successful. The LA Express, Las Vegas Spades, or Gamblers. I don't like the Spades name. I'm gonna tell you right now, Mike.
Yeah, that's not a fan of it either. Aces would make more sense, but whatever. I think
can't take the Aces name.
I like the Gamblers though.
Team.
Yeah, I like the Gamblers though. I mean, you're killing two birds with one stone by combining that.
He also says Portland Breakers and Seattle Sea Dragons. I agree with the Portland Breakers. I think that they're going to move Portland back to the West Coast, or they're going to move New Orleans back to Portland, back to the West Coast. The biggest winner with the XFL and USFL merger was the CFL. I kind of agree.
I think
Lot of
that well
players.
to me though that still remains to be seen because if the UFL really takes off, I mean that's going to hurt the CFL in the long run because of players.
Yeah, because a lot of players are
If
going
you
to want
want
to
to talk
play.
like maybe immediate, yeah. I mean, we saw players jump. Who was it? Well, a lot of the guys didn't have a choice though. Like
Yeah,
anybody playing for the Breakers, there was only a few players that were going to get drafted. Um, so, but yeah, I mean, I guess in
and I
the
think
short
that's
term,
why
maybe it
MBT went back to the CFL.
Mhm.
I think he's
Yeah,
thinking about
he's the one that
the
came to
things
mind.
that
Yeah,
he's thinking about the same things that AJ McCarron's thinking about: the pay, the union situation. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
and I mean,
Um,
at a guy like him at his age, he's probably like, look, man, I'm gonna have to be competing for a job, against more of these young guys that are trying to come up. So I see
yeah.
why he did it, though.
February 17th, Rice Stadium, meet with the Roughnecks coaches and check out their seats. So on the 17th of February, at least they're doing something for the Roughnecks. Yes, because of pay. I think that's going to be a big thing. A-Train. Mike Tackett says if new offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien leaves Ohio State for the Boston College job, we could see Cliff Kingsbury will be the new OC in Columbus. You think so? You think so, Mike?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Ed says, "How's it going, my UFL brothers? This is like a round table of all the UFL super fans." You damn right.
Right.
I'd love to see the city. Thank you, the Sin City Gamblers,
Dude, straight
and
up,
the
that would be a dope
Oklahoma
that would be a
Outlaws.
dope name. That name would be so dope. The Sin
I
City
was just
Gamblers.
about to say that.
Yeah, that would be
Like
that would
Sin
be tight.
City should be the name of our team.
I
The
don't know if I
Sin
want an
City
Outlaws
whatever.
team though in a league where you've got Renegades. Because Renegades and Outlaws are almost like the same thing. You know what I mean? I don't know if
Yeah.
that would make a lot of sense.
He said, "I don't think it's that." Rig says, "I don't think it's that. I don't think it's they didn't care as much as it was rushed, and it was. It was definitely rushed." Predator couple, welcome in.
What's up, Predator
February
Couple?
17th, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Rice Stadium. Yes, see, they're having their own little thing at Rice Stadium. So I'm
Hey,
definitely
B, how you doing,
excited
girl?
about that. Welcome in, B. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, by the way, y'all,
Hope you're doing well.
real quick, guys. This is pertains to upcoming NFL draft stuff, maybe possible future UFL players, but the Senior Bowl is on NFL Network live right now, man. So y'all want to check it out. We got Bo Nix playing, a couple other guys, man. So
Oh,
y'all just chilling right now.
yeah.
Tune it into NFL Network right now, man. Senior Bowl.
What's going on, Predator couple? Hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday. Thank you for tuning into the show today. Drill, baby, drill. But no, I actually liked that that name,
The Sin
the
City.
Sin City Gamblers. That would be really, really good. And I honestly think that would bring a lot more attention to the city as well. You know what I mean? Just the name alone. And with the amount of promotion that the NFL is doing for the UFL, it's been helping a lot. You're getting a lot more people talking about the UFL,
Yeah.
who were what what me and Gabe like to call NFL fanboys. You got a lot of more people talking about the UFL because however you want to look at it, it's professional football.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, it's professional football.
Yeah. You know what bothers me is when I get people that talk about how much they love college football, but then they're like, "Oh, I don't want to watch freaking spring league." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Really?" But you'll sit here and bang your head against the wall for a team in college football who all those players on your squad aren't all going to be in the NFL. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It makes no sense.
You could have a favorite player that don't make the NFL cut.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
If he's still playing football in the UFL, you ain't gonna watch him?
That's right.
Come on now. Predator couple asked, do y'all think the delay in the release of stadium and schedule will negatively impact the attendance for the Roughnecks and be held against the fans? If so,
I hope not.
Y'all think the league will take accountability for it?
I hope
honestly,
not. I think the Roughnecks fans are going to show up. Either way.
I think the Roughneck fans are happy to have the Roughnecks name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Colors and all that.
Now,
Just the
I
brand
do
of the
think though,
Roughnecks.
what I do think pertaining to this question is that it could affect it during the season because if you've got Roughneck fans that live, not in the area, you got to plan this stuff. This is why we wanted the
Mhm.
schedule months ago, or not months ago. I shouldn't say months ago, but maybe with the announcement of the merger, should have had this ready to go. Something, but
Exactly.
it will make a difference with fans that are outside of the area being able to get there. You know what I mean? I think that's one thing that the holdup will affect. How much? I don't know. I don't know.
Are you guys hearing static from
A
my
little bit,
microphone?
not too
No.
much.
Okay.
Hey, let me ask you guys something. Everybody in the
Sorry.
chat, since we got the super fans here, Jersey too, who do you guys want to see for your squads in the first week? Like I'm looking at. I already got who I want, man. We got the Stallions, so I'm cool with that as a Arlington fan. But I'm predicting that the league is going to start off the season with both conferences against each other. It's going to be
You jumped
XFL.
in the fan mail.
Oh,
Jumped into the fan mail already and didn't
did
even
I?
know it. It's all good though. It's all good. It's
All right.
definitely
Well,
all good.
that's just a
We're not
previous
going to get
question. So y'all
into
think
the
on
fan
it.
mail
We all think on
questions,
it, and
but
we'll be coming up with that later on in today's show. My bad. My bad. Man.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I need a
Um,
drink of water.
the Reese's Senior Bowl. Yes, definitely, it is on right
Yeah,
now.
that's the one. That's the one.
It is. It is going pretty well. Los Stereo says, "What would be the difference if you had Stallions and a team called the Mustangs? They're the same but
Yeah,
different."
I wouldn't want that either.
I wouldn't. I would think it would just be too confusing. It's like
Mhm.
it's like you know college teams having two
And
teams
see,
named the Bulldogs
you
playing each
can
other.
talk about the bird discussion, but it's not the same as like if you have Mustang Stallions, Outlaws, and Renegades. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different than if you were talking about like Seahawks and Ravens and Cardinals. It's just different.
Exactly. Rig, I tend to agree with this. I really think that this was
Yeah,
that's something that resonates with a lot of the
they
younger
play for
players.
the love of the game, bro. That's what it is, man. I actually the other day, I think it was I don't know, it was one of those meme pages. It was like the Black Adam Schefter page or something, and they posted a meme with some dude, and he's out there standing on a sidewalk, right, with his gear, with his pads, his jersey, and it says something like it was supposed to be clowning, and it says, "This is how y'all semi-pro players, look." Just trying to make it seem that they look silly. And I put a comment on there saying, actually, I know some of these dudes, and they play for the love of the game. They're legit football players. And like, bro, I have as of this morning, I have almost 1,000 likes on that comment alone. Because a lot of people were like, "Yeah, man, like that post was about to bash these guys," And I know UFL and stuff, Spring League is above semi-pro, but based on what Rig is saying, you know what I mean? Like it's true. Like people at that level that aren't at the NFL level. And I'm not saying the NFL players don't. It's just different when you don't have that paycheck to get out there on the field for. You're getting out there because of the love of the game, because it's something you want to do every week. So yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you on that.
Los, I'm kind of feeling what you're saying here. There's no difference between college football and pro football now because
Yeah.
now they're both getting paid. I completely get that. I completely get that.
Well, I mean,
And
what was it? Is that I was reading something about Shador Sanders this first year with Colorado, like pulling in over like $1 million or something like that, just outside.
the Sanders
crazy.
kids bought Dion a mansion.
Yeah.
NIL is getting a little out of hand. I'm just saying. Y'all able to buy your daddy a mansion with y'all money in college? Hey,
Hey, man,
hey.
it is what it is.
A-Train said it was negatively impacted in the 2023 season, going back to what the Predator couple asked, compared from what happened in 2020, plus the Houston weather will play a big part in the attendance. And I understand that. I completely understand that. I think these are going to be two big, huge fan bases, St. Louis and Memphis. I think they're going to have a whole lot of fans actually showing up, especially Memphis. Memphis is going to show up and show out. I really do think so. I think it's going to be a total difference from last year. He said OTWT was jumping the gun.
I was, man. I was.
Rick says, I want to see the Houston Roughnecks versus San Antonio Roughnecks. From I can't with you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it make more sense for Arlington to play at the Ford Center than Choctaw? A converted baseball stadium that has 12,000 fans isn't appealing as a sold out Ford Center that also holds 12K fans.
Well, and I think that depends though. Like that depends on what
anymore.
it's going to take to play there too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys got to remember they're actually paying to play in these stadiums. So I think the business part of it is probably a little more has something to do with that. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion, but hell, I'll go watch them anyway.
And I agree. I agree with this. They play with heart, not entitlement when it comes to high school and college players.
Yeah.
And I really agree with that. And I respect it as well more than anything. But also here, when it comes to these stadiums, this is what we're looking for as owners of this league. I'm just speaking from an owner of the league. We want stadiums that have 20,000 or more.
There we go.
I just lost my train of thought. What's going on, Sandy? Welcome in.
Hey, Sandy.
How are you doing today?
Thank you for
Hi,
joining
Nell.
us.
Welcome in. My sister's in. She says the UFL is basically like the G League, and it is. You know, it's just now we're trying to expand it. You know what I mean? And
you know the thing about UFL though too is we're getting guys that were in the NFL and they've kind of hit reality now. They got trying to get back to that level, and those guys find that love of the game again. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these dudes were so hyped up in high school and college and came into the draft and they were, you know, their head was filled with this, yeah, I'm the man. I'm the man. No matter where I'm going, they're telling me I'm the man. And then you get to the NFL, it doesn't work out in a year or two, and you're like, okay, I ain't the man no more. You know, so now these guys in the UFL, it's not just the players that are trying to get to the NFL for the first time, but it's a lot of guys that have been there and they realize just that, you know, what it takes to be there. That being, like I guess, like I said, it's not entitlement. You know, some of them feel entitled to be there. And then they're reminded, nah, you know, there's other players that are lining up to take your spot. So a lot of these guys are coming back down to the UFL and they're like, you know what, let me see what I could do here and just better myself because now I know what I got to do to get there.
I apologize, guys. I don't know what's going on with my microphone today. I understand. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it fixed right now. It's a lot. It's a lot. Agreed. Wayne Gallman just left the Giants to go to the UFL. He left the Giants to sign with the UFL.
I like Gallman. I do. I like that dude.
And Gallman's a decent player.
Yeah.
If the college players are going to get paid, then they shouldn't get paid if they sit out their bowl games. I agree.
Well,
I agree.
the thing is, though, they're not getting paid per game. This isn't like the NFL. You know, that's the thing.
My thing is they're on a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
And being on a scholarship, you shouldn't be allowed to sit out games.
Doesn't bother me.
You should not.
For these guys, that are looking at a high draft stock, because where you get drafted really makes a difference on that window of your rookie pay for your rookie contract. Let's be real about that. Just ask Jalen Smith. And I get why he was playing. They were in the national championship. But look what happened. Look at how many rounds he dropped and how much money he missed out on because of that injury. So I don't hate on the players at all. That's my opinion. I know everybody's got their opinion on it. But I'm like, you know what? They done fulfilled their scholarship. You're getting due to a bowl game. You know what I mean? If y'all can't go out there and win this bowl game without me, well, I don't know what to tell you.
But my thing is, this college paid for your tuition. This college paid for your schooling with this scholarship. Why
Okay.
should you be allowed
Now,
to sit out a
if you're
game because
Caleb
you got
Williams,
draft
if
stock?
you're Caleb Williams, how much money did you bring to the college during your time there? You know
Not
what I'm saying?
enough.
Oh, they make a lot of merchandise. You're gonna tell me they didn't make a lot of money on Caleb Williams brand? Come on now.
Caleb Williams made a lot of money
Oh,
off of
so
his
did he.
brand.
But
The
you're gonna tell
school
me
made a
USC?
certain the
Oh,
school
come on.
made a small portion.
The school
I'm just saying
the school made
a small
millions,
portion.
millions on his name.
The school made millions from being the school that they are.
True, true. But let me tell
I
you
mean,
something.
look at Bronny James.
Okay,
He's
what
not
would happen?
bringing
What
in
would
no
happen if
money.
UFC didn't have a Heisman winner and they were a trash team right now? What would happen if they weren't making any bowl games right now? That brand of USC wouldn't be pulling in as much money. All I'm saying is, if you're a certain player, I'm sorry, he's done his there. You know what I mean? So what happens if Caleb Williams were to play in that bowl game, bro, and he's taken out with an ACL? He's not going number 1 or number 2 no more. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's why it doesn't bother me. And I'm okay with other people having like you and Rick, you guys got a different opinion on that. And I'm cool with that because that's always a good debate to have because people you can actually throw out valid points on both sides of the argument. Like you're talking about the scholarship, and I get that because we're paying for you to go to school here. Like you wouldn't have had this stage if it wasn't for us giving you this scholarship. So go out there and give us one more game. You know what I mean? So I feel you
That's
on
my
that, and
thing.
I got you.
Like
I got you. So
we gave you a whole scholarship.
yeah,
And even those kids who earned scholarships, who were walk-ons and earned a scholarship, those are the ones who aren't sitting out.
but
Those
those
are the ones who are
some of
are the
those
ones
guys
who
are
saying, "I have
those are the
something
guys
to
not going
prove."
number 1 too, though. Those aren't the guys that are projected to go number 1 in the draft. I'm just saying.
So what?
And so it's not going to
Going
hurt their
number one
stock as
doesn't
much.
always matter because you can go number 1 in the draft or number 2 in the draft or number 5 in the draft like Anthony Richardson and miss your whole damn season because of an injury
True,
because
but
your
what I'm
dumbass
saying
coach
is,
put you as a starter in your rookie season instead of letting you sit behind a damn veteran.
okay, but what I'm
We
telling
could
you
be
is
looking
the
at
rookie
Anthony
contract.
Richardson not
The
even
rookie
having a
contract, you've
future.
got a certain window on that rookie contract that you're going to make so much money if you're taking 1 through 3 or 1 through 5, and that drops if you drop lower. That rookie contract doesn't max out as high. So that's what these guys are thinking of. They're looking at that future, that rookie contract. Where am I going to be going? Because if I got my rookie contract and it's fully guaranteed, I want the max on that. And an ACL injury in the last game of the season that is meaningless is not going to help that argument. You know what I mean? But I feel you. I
As my
feel you too.
sister
I got you.
and Jeremy, you're as Jeremy and my sister Novia says, look at Johnny Manziel. He has made so much money for his college. Like Manziel, A&M made stupid money off of him.
Yeah.
Literally got renovation money for their stadium. Those 2 years, those 2 Manziel years were crazy, but dude was trying to make money and didn't see a dime from A&M, but yes, he got a free scholarship.
Yeah,
and
but
think
that's
that
different now. Times now that the NILs
yeah,
there though. Yeah, he would have
look at
made a
these Sterling.
killing
Dude
though.
was
He
making money
would have
off
made a lot of
YouTube
money.
on his own and walked away because NCAA wasn't happy he was making money, and it's
Yeah.
not fair. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not fair. Why are these kids supposed to come into school, get on a scholarship, but still have to find a damn job?
And that's why I always tell people
But
like
then you can't work.
NCAA is a business now. It's a business first. We like to say, oh, it's where these guys are, they're student athletes are getting an education. No, because the best of the best, the cream of the crop, actually don't complete their education. A lot of them end up leaving early. I respect the ones that go back and do it, but yeah, it's a business. That's all it is now.
Back to what Lo said, I didn't want to skip over this. I kind of feel like there's more hype around the UFL for the 2024 season as compared to both the XFL and the USFL last season. The Rock being in WrestleMania is going to give the UFL some much needed great exposure, and I do think so. That was huge.
Yeah,
for
big.
The Rock to go back, but I knew it was coming when the intent to merge was announced. I knew The Rock was going back to wrestling. And the only reason why I say that is because he failed. Personally, for him, he failed. What he was attempting to do, what he wanted to do with the XFL, it didn't go as planned. And on top of it, a lot of his personal things that he had to get taken care of in his life was a big issue as well. So I just think that with The Rock being the man that he is, the big star that he is, just having his name attached to it is perfectly
You know
fine.
what I hope he does? I hope he
Perfectly fine.
shows up for these promos between now and WrestleMania. And I hope every time he's got a shirt of like the San Antonio Brahmas, the Renegades, a shirt each time you come on a promo
Yeah.
of one of these
Or
UFL
even a
kids. It will be
jersey.
dope. It will be dope. Yeah.
Even a jersey.
I
That
would
would be
dig
so
that.
nice, especially with the new jerseys that the USFL teams are getting this
Yeah,
year.
and I hope that they're dropping
with
prices,
Under Armour.
right? Damn it. Freaking remember the XFL prices last year? I'm gonna do $200.
Rick says that hopefully that would change next season with the 12-team college playoff. I don't think it will. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it will. I think kids are still gonna sit out if they don't make it to the final game.
I don't know. I think if it's a playoff, I think that's a little different. But I mean, that's speculation on our part. It all depends on the individual, what he's looking at in his draft stock. Does he want to try to boost his draft stock? Is he trying to get a championship, which most of them should be trying to do in the first place? You know what I mean? If you've got pride for your squad and your brothers on your team and you're in a 12-team playoff, you're like, man, I don't care if I get hurt. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go win this thing, man. So we'll see, though. It could.
And A-Train, you're absolutely right. The NCAA was a business before NIL.
It's always been a business. It is.
Yep. But like my sister says, some of these kids wouldn't even be in college if it wasn't for sports.
That's their meal ticket.
So if you are, and that brings me back to my point. If you know damn well you're in college on a sports scholarship and not an academic scholarship with the choice of being able to go and play a sport in college, when it comes down to these bowl games, play.
No, that goes more to my point. Because if sports has been my meal ticket, that's gotten the only thing that has gotten me to where I'm at, you know, it wasn't this wasn't enough to get me into college. It's the sports that's got me an opportunity to go in the top 5 of the NFL draft and make something of myself. Then I'm sorry. This pointless bowl game, I'm not playing because I'm not going to get hurt and try to damage the one thing, my only meal ticket, the only thing that got me here.
But how many players make it into the NFL because of that meal ticket, like you're saying, but their career is ended on a freak accident? Now they have nothing to fall back on.
Well, once you get in the pros, though, see, that's why they're counting on that rookie contract so much. Because at least from the jump, you've got that rookie contract. And if you're going in the top 10, it's or even in the first round, it's going to be a contract that at least is going to set you up for a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think now, as far as if you're a guy who's projected to go in the third round and you're like, nah, I'm going to miss this bowl game, then why? Why? First of all, you're hurting your own stock because maybe you can have a good showing in that bowl game that's going to jump you up around and it's going to open up that window of your rookie contract and what you're going to get maxed out at. You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm saying is my argument is if you're projected to go in the first round and you want to sit out the bowl game that's meaningless, I'm okay with that. But it wouldn't make sense for me, the guys that are projected to go later, because then you're like, but you're kind of hurting yourself. You can actually go out there and show them something, you know, on a bigger stage and say, hey, y'all need to look at me drafting me a little bit higher than the third round. So I guess what I'm saying is my point is if you're in the first round, it doesn't bother me. If you're one of those guys that's very highly touted, like a Caleb Williams, who we talked about because he's been the big one. But again, this is one of those arguments, bro, that could go off because there's valid points for every.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
My sister says she agrees with you. Look how many players, even in the pros, go back to the college after the fact for a degree because they know anything could happen injury-wise.
And I respect those dudes
question
who do that.
from Rick.
I really do.
He says about players leaving early. If a player leaves early for the NFL, should they have a timetable to finish their education? And if they don't, should they have to pay back what was left of their scholarship?
That's a great question.
That is.
The thing is. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think about the paying back what's left on the scholarship. If they make it to the NFL, they're not going to chirp off of that. Here you go.
Yeah.
And then they'll do like my sister was saying, go after their career's over,
Yeah.
or
And
they'll go
you
back,
know what the
in the
colleges
off
say
season or
too. The
something.
colleges are like, that's all right. You're gonna be in the NFL playing every Sunday, and every time they show your graphic with your name, it's gonna show our university where you played your ball. And
Mhm.
that's what the potential recruits are gonna see. So you're right, Jersey. Like they're not tripping on that because of stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but
for the
like
rest
you
of this
said,
dude's career, he's going. Yeah, yeah,
third rounders, fourth rounders, fifth rounders, y'all need to play in these bowl games. Build your draft stock up.
yeah, yeah.
But even for Caleb Williams, dude, you're sitting here telling the Bears that if they want to draft you at the number 1 draft pick, they got to trade Justin Fields. Who the hell are you?
Mm-hmm.
You're a college kid coming out of college trying to get into the NFL. Who are you to tell this Bears franchise that if they want to draft you, they better get rid of Justin Fields? They're gonna say, you know what? Just for that arrogance, we're gonna keep Justin Fields and draft your dumbass. And now you're gonna be sitting behind Justin
Well,
Fields
then that
instead of starting.
the team might be playing themselves if they did something like that. Though you're not going to draft a backup that high. You know what I mean? You're not going to
But
draft a
but
backup that high.
why sit here and make these demands and you ain't even touched an NFL
Well, but that
field yet?
wasn't true though. That wasn't true. That was like debunked as some like what was it? Some satire page that put that out there. Y'all got to stop believing the damn internet, man.
Marvin Harrison
Yeah, Marvin
Jr.
Harrison
was
Jr. Yeah,
another
he did
that
sit
sat
too.
because he's projected top 3. But he took another NIL deal
But
stating that he
and
was
you know,
believed that he was going to go back to Ohio State next year. He
no,
was still on the fence before he finally made the announcement that he was going to declare for the draft.
yeah.
And you wait till like a week before the bowl game to declare for the draft.
I'm sure the team knew though. I'm sure
But it's like, come on.
knew. Yeah,
We've
I
been
don't blame him.
preparing for
I
how
don't
many
blame him,
weeks?
especially as a receiver. I mean, like a big
Now,
injury
as a receiver,
would hurt
I
his
get it.
draft stock even more, even with
And
his
I get
talent.
that.
Yeah, so
With
I
any of these players, injuries will hurt their draft stock because you get injured, and then these NFL teams and scouts, they're looking like, oh well, what if he gets injured again? What if
yeah,
he becomes
and
injury
just
prone?
like
You know,
just like
that's
the
the first
NFL
thing that
teams,
comes to their head.
the NFL is a business. The NFL teams are a business, and the players have to look at themselves like that as well. I am my own business, so if I don't protect myself and protect the possibility of me getting that max rookie contract, you know, then who's going to do it? You know what I mean?
True.
So they have to kind of look out for themselves.
John, how you doing today, man? Welcome into the show. Thank you for being here. He says, do you ever think that the NCAA or with the NCAA that all these college teams are cleverly disguised schools? Seriously, with the operating budgets some of these schools have, it's like it's football first with schooling on the side, money wise. That's actually
Some of them,
accurate.
some of them,
That's
like
actually accurate.
yeah.
Like
So you
got
got your
these
football
Power Five
schools,
conference schools.
yeah. You got your basketball
Bama.
schools like Duke, yeah. That's where
You
that's
know what
where
I
they
mean?
get all
North
that money.
Carolina,
Mhm.
Kansas, when you're talking about basketball,
Yeah,
these other schools. But see, here's the difference between basketball and college football. College basketball, they give every school a chance.
mhm.
College football
Yeah,
doesn't. So you got some of
yeah,
these kids who have to play every single game, even a
yeah,
meaningless Tostitos Festival
yeah.
or a meaningless Tax Slayer, or whatever the hell,
Those long ass
15 word
names,
names.
the Chick-fil-A / Popeye / KFC Dunkin' Donuts Bowl. You know, where there's 30 people in the stands because they were giving out tickets. You know what I mean? But yeah,
the
yeah.
Kellogg's brown cinnamon and sugar Pop Tarts bowl. You know what I mean? The Dr. Pepper 0-calorie bowl. You know, it's just
That's
these
funny,
dumb
man.
names, like
Yeah,
they're just pointless. They're pointless.
yeah.
All these bowl games, in my opinion, are pointless. They're
They
really
are.
pointless
You
because
know,
it's like,
as a fan of a school though, that's kind of the isn't up there with those top tiers. I like it because it gives us at least something to say that we earned. You know what I mean? And to everybody else, you're right. They are pointless. I mean, I'll be looking on TV sometimes, and I'm like, what is the name of this bowl? I don't even know who these two teams are. And then I'll watch like 10 minutes, and I'm like, damn, that's horrible football, and I'll change the channel. That's horrible that I just admitted that, but it happens. I don't care.
Do y'all think Badette will get picked up, and if so, by who? I don't think he'll get picked up this season.
Maybe not this season.
I think he'll end up being in the CFL, or he'll continue high school coaching, what he's currently doing right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it 100. That's just my opinion. For me personally, talking with him, I think that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna either get picked up by a CFL team, possibly, or he may sit out this season, stay in shape, but coach the high school team he's coaching, or assisting in coaching, as I believe he's a wide receivers coach at the high school he coaches at. So I think that's what's going to be more of his go route instead of actually playing on the UFL team. But if he does get signed, I think he'll go to Arlington, to be honest. It's no secret these schools thrive on their sports program. That's where their money comes from. Look at the money being poured into these sports facilities. No, you're absolutely right, Nelia. Exactly. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Bowl games are sponsorship traps. Really, it's a 2.5-hour commercial. Yes, it is. I
that
really wish there was
that good way to look at it, John. Hell yeah.
He said, I really wish there was bowl streamlining with people sitting out. It could come to that if it affects the ratings. You're right. My Uncle Harris says, stop hating on the bowl games. We got the Las Vegas Toilet Bowl, and we had almost 300 fans.
That's funny as hell, man. Oh, man,
but he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right, though, and that's the crazy thing. We've literally had some of the craziest names for bowl games and stuff. And, I just think that my opinion is this. If you got a scholarship, play. Just play. I don't care. Play. Because guess what? If you don't make it to the NFL, you can always go to the UFL and still have a chance to make it to the NFL. Because there's no telling that you can get drafted at a high draft pick and not even make the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because a guy like Mr. Irrelevant, who's going to be playing in the Super Bowl in his second season, are out there. There's guys like that who are out there. Look at Tom Brady, drafted in the 4th round. Now he's the GOAT. With Patrick Mahomes closing in on his ass really quickly. But I'm just saying.
He's got a ways to go.
It's not going to matter. Not really. He's going to be that's
he's not gonna catch Brady. He's not gonna catch Brady. It's not gonna happen. Travis Kelce's not gonna be around forever. No.
True. Why isn't Ryan Willis not on anyone's radar? Am I missing something?
Oh, you talk about the quarterback? Oh.
I don't even know. Man. Honestly, I think
maybe he is on some of these teams' radar.
Exactly.
We're still seeing it every single day that the UFL is signing new contracts with players. So,
yep, or at least putting out letters of intent to players and stuff like that. So, of course, Rick says, as a Buckeye fan, screw Brady. We know. I'm just saying. That look what he did. 4th round draft pick out of Michigan, backup quarterback to Drew Bledsoe. As soon as he gets in, they win the game, and he takes off from there. So, and he made players around him better as well. So, it's just a matter of how you look at it. And some players can get overlooked and get drafted at really, really low in a late round, and the next thing you know, they're looking like Brock Purdy. So, Mike says that the new Vince McMahon federal investigation negatively reflect onto Dwayne Johnson, making him guilty by association. Brock Lesnar is all but canceled at this point, and we know how good of a relationship DJ and Vince have.
I don't know, because I mean, Vince had a relationship with a lot of these guys over the years. Like, what's going to be next? Is Undertaker going to get canceled? You know what I mean? Anybody that was associated as a star or with Vince McMahon, it's like then it starts to become a little too much, in my opinion.
I think it depends on what comes out in this investigation.
Cool. Yeah.
That's really what's going to make or break some of these star power guys. If The Rock's name is brought up in this investigation negatively, it'll negatively impact him. You know what I mean? Oh, my bad. My bad. 6th round. Whatever, Zara. Whatever. Y'all know what I mean. The Niners are damn happy with Brock's salary. It allows them to spend elsewhere. That was Brady's trick. Lower his own salary to raise the team around him. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
he
exactly what
got that
happened.
lowest contract you could get for a draft pick. But
Yeah.
I mean, what happens though? Even if he wins, they're going to have to pay to keep him, and they will. I mean, they might pay even if he doesn't win this year. They're going to try to keep the core of this team together. But yeah, I mean, John's right. They are right now. I mean, what is he looking at? It's less than $1 million right now for his annual salary, anyways. So they're killing it right now. That's why it's nice when you can get like these running backs or these quarterbacks that can come in and on their rookie contract just ball out. Because while it hurts on the sense that you got to pay to keep them there, but hell, you got some of their best, work on a rookie contract.
And Rick, you're right. They do love him there. They love him there. So it's going to be a thing. Real quick, you guys. This actually just broke my heart seeing this. Apollo Creed passed away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was it yesterday? Was that yesterday?
Yesterday.
At least
night.
I saw it yesterday.
Apollo Creed passed away. That's a hurt piece, man.
Yeah, man.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers.
One topic we are going to get into today, and I want to thank my boy David Vargas, aka Zara. We call him Zara, but he actually has gave us a little insight on the off season. And Angel, it actually kind of goes into your fan mail question too. So we'll get into that here in just a bit. But let's talk some NFL now, guys. I know we talk a lot of UFL and spring football on this show, and I love it because we are one of the platforms and one of the shows that's going to keep the UFL's name going. These teams, what we do advocacy wise for this league, you know what I mean? Our goal is to make sure that this team or that this league does survive, that this league is successful. He said anything but the Cowboys. Los, before we do, Los says, it bothers me to see Jordan Ta'amu, Aquil Glass, Carson Strong, Kenji Bahar, Brandon Silvers, and AJ McCarron not playing in the league. But hey, I didn't think Brandon Silvers was going to be on the team anyway because Brandon Silvers isn't all that good in my opinion. I'm sorry. He's not. He did okay as the Houston Roughnecks starting quarterback last year, but let's keep it real. If it wasn't for John Shea Kirkland and those receivers and Max Borghi, he would have been benched a long time ago, which he should have. Because
and I mean now
Cole McDonald was
guys there. It's going to give other guys an opportunity. So let's see if the next man up can come in and whatever spot, those are not names though. Like AJ McCarron, Jordan, Tamu, those are not going to be easy shoes to fill if these guys are not in the league. Which is why I talked about St. Louis probably taking a step back with the product on the field. But we'll see. Maybe these guys that are going to be in those slots that those players would be taking up actually come out, and we're talking about them. You know what I mean? A few games into the season, so we'll see.
And John says it's good seeing UFL players in the NFL that shows the UFL as a viable path, and it does. It shows that the UFL is a viable path for players to make it into the NFL if they don't get drafted or if they don't make the cut after being drafted. You know what I mean? So. And I agree, Rig. He's not a good player to me. He's not a good player to me. But let's switch courses. Let's talk about some NFL coaching moves. And one thing, oh my goodness. Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Why? Why'd you leave?
But have you seen what everybody is grading that hiring for Washington? Like, they're giving it a failing grade already, man. Like
Yeah, I seen
I
that.
don't know. And it was almost like he just did this because it was like, okay, wow, this is the last chance I got. You know what though? Let me just real quick, bro, give my take on why Dan Quinn did this.
Go ahead.
Because my guess is he's getting a lot of backlash based on how this defense played, how unprepared they were against Green Bay. And I'm guessing now that that the Joneses have decided to say, okay, we're gonna let Mike McCarthy just play, coach out his contract, which is what they usually do. It's not surprising. You have 3 straight 12-win seasons. It's kind of hard just to fire him his last year. But I think this is Dan Quinn saying, okay, I know what's gonna happen now. If we do not win a Super Bowl, even if we do, he's saying Mike McCarthy is gonna be gone. There's no guarantee I'm getting that spot. And what happens when coaches are brought in? When a new coach is brought in, what happens? The whole regime changes. He brings in his own staff, his own defensive coordinators. You know what I mean? He picks them, his own assistant coaches. So my guess is Dan Quinn was like, look, I'm getting this job offer now. I need to take it because there is no guaranteeing that I'm going to have any job offers next year. There's no guaranteeing that I'm going to have a job with the Cowboys after this season. So that
I agree with that.
that's the reason why I think he did this, because it's not an attractive job for anybody right now. I mean, he's going to have to literally go in and rebuild. How they blew up the defense, in Rivera's last year. So that's my take on why I think he did this. And and now the Cowboys can say, okay, now we got to figure out what Dallas is going to do. Are they going to go in house? I've been talking to Joe Witt that the Commanders are trying to pull him with Quinn, but he would be the next guy in my opinion, or even Ron Rivera. Man, there's talk about him, coming in holding
Wouldn't
it
that be
down for a
crazy?
year. Yeah, they might as well just swap, just trade.
We swap
Yeah,
swap coaches.
yeah,
We just take the head coach and make him a defensive coordinator. Y'all take our defensive coordinator, make him a head coach. Hey, why not? We're in the same division. We'll
yeah.
see you guys 2 times next year. So why
Let,
not?
let me let me shut one thing down though that people, Cowboys fans that don't really understand. Everybody's talking about, and I know even Trayvon Diggs went out and put it out there for Al Harris to be the defensive coordinator. First of all, no. Al Harris does not, he's already admitted he doesn't do game planning. He doesn't do scheming. That's not what he works with. He's never been in a situation to have to coach where he's scheming and game planning week to week. What he works on, guys, is he's a techniques coach for the defensive backs. He teaches them their techniques and one-on-one drills, things like that. Big, big difference from having to game plan for the 49ers next Sunday. You know what I mean? And when you have to control the entirety
Yeah.
of the defense and the plan that's going to. So I just wanted to put that out there, bro, because I wanted to ask you. I gave you my take on the Dan Quinn thing, but before you got into yours, I wanted to shut that down because I don't want you mentioning Al Harris as a defensive coordinator.
I don't think he would be a good defensive coordinator anyway, and he doesn't think he would be a good defensive
No.
coordinator because, like you said, he's a techniques coach for defensive backs,
Yeah.
and he's the
Yeah.
best one out there. So let him continue to do what he's doing, because look what he's done with our defensive back room.
Yeah. And I mean,
That's all I'm saying
I
about
could see like if Dallas, if they were happen to be able to keep Joe Witt Jr. there and they give him the defensive coordinator spot, then that's when he can turn to Al Harris and say, okay, now we want to promote you to the pass game coordinator. So now you're going to get an opportunity to plan your scheme for your pass defense every single week, and that's where you're going to start. There's levels to this, man. It's about climbing that ladder. But I don't
Yeah.
know if Joe Witt Jr. will be there. Dan Quinn is trying to pull him, but he has not committed to anything. He has said in the past, though, defensive coordinator for the Cowboys would be his dream job. So there is a chance there, but we'll see.
And I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
him being our DC. You know what I mean? I think it would be a good fit for us. And with Mike McCarthy playing on his last year,
Yeah,
or coaching on his last year,
especially if it's true, if like Jerry Jones said. I've never heard him say this before. Well, how he came out and said, we are going all in 1 year next year. We're going all in. So if that's true, then you don't need one of these young, up and coming defensive coordinators. You need somebody that can take the stellar talent we have now and just roll with it for a year and get them
yeah.
playing at a high level. You know what? Which is
Do you
why
think
I think
going
a
all
run.
in will be good?
I think so. We've been waiting for it. We've been asking for it. You know what I mean? At this point, yeah. I mean, you're looking at Dak Prescott going into almost hitting his 10 years pretty soon. This talent ain't gonna be there forever, man. So it's like, yeah, if you're gonna do it now. But Jerry, if you're gonna go all in, really go all in. Get Derrick Henry or Jacobs over here or something. You know what I'm saying? Do some stuff like that. But well, if you're going to do that, that's why I think
Hell,
a Ron Rivera as DC would also make sense to me, because they're like, you're not asking him to rebuild the defense. You're asking him to come in for 1 or 2 years and say, look, you got Michael Parsons. You got talent. You got a talented secondary. Now just go out there and keep us some ball games. You know what I mean? So they're not looking for
yeah,
somebody for long term to replace uh, Dan Quinn right now. That's not what they're looking for right now. So it's going to be
yeah.
interesting to see what happens.
Now, John says the thing with coaching is know your strengths and know your ceiling. It's why you will always see coaches bump up and down from head coach. They all
Yeah.
test that ceiling. Yeah, and you're absolutely right.
Of
Rig,
course.
the Oakland Raiders, or I called them Oakland. I'm sorry. The Las
I
Vegas
still call
Raiders.
Washington the Redskins, so it is what it
I
is.
call them the Red Commander skins because they don't know who they want to be. So
They might have a different name next year too. They're saying.
they're supposed to have a different name next year. So it's like, what the hell? 3 different names in the last 3-4 seasons. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Come figure it out, guys. But I think keeping Pierce was an amazing move for the Raiders. It was the smartest move for the Raiders because now you have a team who is resonating with that coach, who is feeding into what he's giving. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They're He said, "What's sitting in my hand?" I know. I'm just saying they're gonna always be the Oakland Raiders to me.
yeah.
But but yeah, I just think that was a great move for Pierce. Those players are buying what he's selling, and that's the key. You know what I
And
mean? They're buying what he's
let's
selling.
be real. They might not in the long run. It might not work out. Maybe 2 years down the road, he's not winning games. Who knows? But you're right. For right now,
Um,
for the situation right now, this was the smart move by the Raiders because the fans wanted it done. The players want it done. If the fans, the Raiders fans, they're going to show up for you if they know that you're listening to them. So who knows, man? I mean, like I said, it may or may not work out, but for right now, I agree. This was the only move they can make.
yeah.
It was the only move.
Cliff Kingsbury actually withdrew from the OC position. We were talking about that a little earlier today. So now they still need to find an offensive coordinator. John says the Raiders are still Oakland in spirit, and Washington is still the Redskins in my head.
Right? Yeah.
Rig,
Yeah.
what?
So, yes, that's what we call them, the Foreskins.
Oh man, I love you guys. The Philadelphia Schmeagles decided to go all in, I guess, at the offensive coordinator position, and I guess
Really?
they're gonna have Jalen Hurts throw the ball all crazy because they hired Kellen
calling
Moore
it.
as their new offensive coordinator.
I'm
So
calling
Eagles
it.
fans, I'm
Jalen-
sorry, but
Jalen
y'all gonna
Hurts
have
is
some
gonna-
trouble.
Hey,
next
hey,
season.
Jalen Hurts gonna be breaking records next year. All right, Jalen Hurts is gonna be breaking records next year because, dude, he's about to set the single season record for interceptions.
For interceptions.
Alabama gonna have
And
that
sack
ball thrown all over the
fumbles.
field. You gotta have AJ Brown. AJ Brown's gonna demand a trade by midseason. I can see that happening. The way things are going with them. It just
Yes.
to me the Kellen Moore thing, bro, with the personnel and what they do there in Philly. Kellen Moore's whole scheme of offense does not work with the personnel there. It just doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Kellen Moore is not good with mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah, and they could be lose. And Travis Kelce's probably not going to be there. Will Lane Johnson follow and retire also? Who knows? Who knows? So, would you accept Shane McMahon or Stephanie McMahon and an investor in the UFL if they wanted to be a big money investor? Well, why would you not? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hell
look
yeah.
at all that
Hell yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Look at all that money.
Especially
They
because
have so
right now
much
Shane and
money.
Steph, especially right now because they're being ousted by the WWE right now. You know what I mean? But I mean, everybody wants Stephanie back though.
Come on now, Shane O'Mac. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't we want Shane O'Mac in the UFL?
Nah.
Come on now. It'll be something like when he went and pretended to buy WCW.
Yeah, that was dope. I remember watching
I
that.
love that though. That was
Yeah,
awesome. That was
yeah.
awesome. Davis even admits he has sucked at picking coaches. This is one instance where Al Davis did the right and let go the decision making wheel for Pierce.
Yeah.
And I agree. Al Davis knew that you don't make this decision and make him your head coach, you're going to be looking at these type of similar seasons or past seasons all over again, continuously. Barely making the playoffs, getting knocked out in the first round, not making the playoffs, having a horrible record, losing star players like Max Crosby, because Max Crosby said it. If we don't get Antonio Pierce as our head coach, I'm requesting a trade. And he actually said that. He actually said it. It's
Yeah,
not
but
like
they
nothing
probably
that
wouldn't
was
have traded
posted
him
or anything.
anyways, though. They ain't gonna trade him though. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's
But
nice.
then,
Now
but
get
then
out
you
there
got
and
a
play.
player that sits out and is
Oh,
willing
then
to take,
he ain't getting paid. That's what I'm saying.
and he's willing to take
I'll
that.
just say, I always think it's funny when people are
Max
like, well,
Crosby got
so-and-so's
chicken.
everybody's like, so-and-so's gonna request a trade, and I'm like, that don't mean he's gonna be traded. You can
But
request a trade all you want.
look at Josh Jacobs. He sat out until they paid him
Mhm.
when they know they needed a running back like Josh Jacobs. And then look what he did. You know
Yeah,
what I
he's
mean?
gone. He's gonna be gone
Max
now.
Crosby
Yeah.
wouldn't give a damn about sitting out a year and not getting paid
I don't
because they
know.
don't got the right coach. He's got enough money. He's
I
got
don't
enough money
think
to say, you know what? I'll take a year off.
I
I'll
don't
sit
think
at
he
home
would.
like this.
I don't
I'll
think
sit
he
at home
would.
like this, my
Because what
feet
happens
kicked
if
up.
they get? What happens if they were to bring in? Let's just be hypothetical. If he had said that, which from what I had seen, he said that that wasn't what he was quoted wrong. He didn't say that, but I don't know. We'll need to find it. But even if he had, what happens if they end up bringing in a different coach, not hiring Pierce, and this actually ends up being a coach that he gets along with, a defensive-minded coach, maybe? Then things change. But what I
Right.
trip on is how people are like, oh, it's because so and so requested a trade. If he doesn't get away, he's gone. No. Sometimes players just use it as a tactic. You know what I mean?
And
But
Al Davis
Max
knew what he
Crosby
was
though
going to
does
do
have
anyways.
pull. Will give you that. Max Crosby though, he's got some pull. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he
Because
does.
he is the dude of that defense. No doubt about
He
that.
really is.
No doubt about
So
that.
his words carry a lot of weight. We'll say that.
They do. They do. You're right.
Zara says Cowboys have had a championship roster this year and last year. It's just poor execution and players not showing up in the big games. So until the players show up
It's
when it
not just
matters,
execution
it's
though.
all a bullish talk.
How I mean, when your head coach comes out and says after the Packers game, well, we weren't prepared. Who's that on? That's not execution, dog. That's preparation. That's on coaching. That's on
That's
coaching.
on everybody.
Everybody. But it's up to
That's
your
on
coaches
everybody,
as
from
the
the
captain of
coaching.
that ship to have y'all ready to go. Have y'all prepared.
Exactly.
So when your coach
From
is
the
saying we
coaching
weren't
down to
prepared,
the
well, whose
players.
fault is that? Yeah. Yeah.
If Jerry Jones is the only one who's ready for the damn game, you can't expect to win.
How we were ready.
You can't.
We're disappointed like a mo. Shit. We were ready,
definitely
baby.
was.
We were ready. And then
definitely was.
at the end of the game, we're just sitting there like, oh, this is what I was ready for. But yeah, no, I hear you, David. But the truth is, I mean, what do you expect the team to do? Like, not try to get better? This is their last year
Right.
of McCarthy's window, so why not go all in? They have to get better. So what do? You go maybe get you some linebackers, get you a running back. That's why I said we're going to find out if Jerry's true to his word.
We ain't got to worry about linebackers. You know what we need to do? Move Micah back to linebacker. Let Overshown come in because we lost Overshown last year in the preseason and he missed the whole season with a torn ACL. So you got to imagine that's a linebacker that we didn't even get to see play.
Well, and it's also you start to wonder, depending on who defensive coordinator is, you start to wonder, since we're talking about the coaches anyways, whoever they bring in, maybe why would it be so bad of an idea to put Micah back at linebacker and let Sam Williams start at the edge because he's been showing so many signs in the limited reps that he's been getting? You know what I mean? Let Sam Williams do what you drafted him to do and drop Micah back a little
Exactly.
bit, and who knows what can happen.
You
Maybe
put
that run
Micah and
defense, maybe
Overshown,
that run defense, maybe Micah's presence at linebacker helps lock up
that
our
run
run
stop
defense.
defense.
You know what I'm saying?
And
It's a
then you
possibility.
give Mozzie Smith a lot more opportunity to get
Yeah,
better,
yeah,
stopping the run and rushing the passer. Then you got Micah at linebacker. Overshown can drop back in the zone. Micah can rush the passer with the other defensive lineman. Look at what we're getting
yeah,
here. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Those are things that need to
And that
happen.
that
You know what
might
I
be
mean?
something that has to happen. Yeah, because with
Like
depending on who they bring in, they might want to do that. You may get a Ron Rivera there that says, you know what, Micah, we're gonna try something new in this camp. Let's run you back on linebacker a little bit. And let's see what
with
kind of progress
Overshown.
you make. Yeah, yeah. So
Because
that'll
Demario
be
Overshown,
interesting
bro,
though.
he's gonna be so good.
My question was, yeah,
We've
Overshown.
seen
The problem is we probably won't see Overshown in camp because that ACL injury. He's still going to be coming up on that, but I expect to hopefully
well,
see him this year. And
if
my
if
only
we
thing
see
is,
Trayvon,
yeah,
if we
my
see
only thing is
Trayvon, we're gonna see him.
a lot of times players though, when they come back from that ACL, it still takes them a whole other year to get back to where they were, which is what I'm afraid of. We saw that, with
Yeah,
Gallup last year struggle, but we'll see. But I get what you're saying, though. There's potential there. It depends on the coach that's brought in on the defensive
yeah.
coordinator side. So it'll be interesting. But
Uh, what do you want to see as a realistic goal for the UFL to be seen as a success?
16 teams. At least minimum. If we reach 16 teams and they've got fans in the stands, and we're getting football that's really good on the field, and the presentation's great, and it's something we can look forward to every year, I'm good, bro. I'm like, yeah, this is what we wanted from spring football. That's when I
Yeah,
think when they can reach 16 teams that it's profitable enough for them to do that, then I think I can say, okay, this is not going anywhere. It's going to be a success.
and we'll be at 32 teams in no time. Once we get to 16 teams, then we can start looking at 20,
Yeah.
24, 28, 32 teams. More expansion. But exactly what he said, 16 teams. Straight up. John says, what are your feelings about Belichick not coaching anywhere? I'm fine with that right now.
Yeah.
Let Bill Belichick take a year off. Let Bill Belichick go be a damn family man. Let him go and hang out with his wife for a damn change. Let him get some type of relaxation and separation from the game of football for at least a year. Let that man go and cool his jets, because he's got, how long has he been a coach?
Yeah, and I think that's what, as long as he's been a coach, that's why you hear a lot of people say, oh, the game's passed him by. And it's really, like you said, he's never had that year to take off and see what's changed in the game from the outside
Hmm.
looking in. And, Mike McCarthy did it. When you talked about the years he took off before he came to Dallas, when he didn't believe in analytics, and he said, in my time off, I decided to look into this analytics, what everybody was looking at now with these young coaches. He says, and it made sense to me. So that's why Mike McCarthy was able to come
Yep.
in and win 12 games, 3 seasons. Because sometimes when you're a coach, you do need that. Like you just said, Jersey, you need to say, you know what? I'm in here in my own ways that probably maybe were a thing 10, 15 years ago, but the game's changed. Let me step back for a year and just watch the
Hmm.
game. And who knows? He may
Exactly.
decide by taking a year off that, you know what? I'm done with coaching. He may decide that too. Maybe he goes into the booth. My guess is he probably wanted more control than these teams that he interviewed with were willing to give him. So maybe that's like you said, Jersey. I'm okay with it too. Take your time off,
Yeah.
Bill. Just take the time off. You want to go be in the booth and be an analyst too? That's fine. That's fine. But maybe it'll help you.
Yeah, like
Maybe
like
it'll help.
Zara says, Billy Goat, Billy Goat, Billy Goat Belichick. I like that. Billy Goat should join a booth or NFL program on Fox, for example, next year. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. He could do that, but I still think he just needs a whole year off from everything.
Yeah.
Let him, like Gabe was saying, let him be able to sit at home and watch these games from a different perspective now.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're not on the sideline watching these games. Now you're not in a broadcast booth or on a TV show
Yeah,
talking about these games.
where it's
You get to
constant
sit
X's and
back.
O's strategy. Yeah,
Exactly. You get to sit back and watch how the game has changed. So if you do want to come back to coaching the year after, you're going to come back with a different mindset. Bill Belichick will come back with a different mindset, but them same winning ways. Hopefully,
absolutely.
minus the cheating. Just
Hey,
saying.
let me ask you something, bro. What do you think of what do you think of the Harbaugh move? I think this is going to be great for the Chargers and for Justin Herbert.
I think it's going to be amazing for the Chargers. This is what Justin Herbert needed. And you got rid of Kellen Moore.
Mhm.
Chargers
He
might
got
be on
rid
the
of
come up, y'all.
everybody. John Harbaugh came in and he said, "You know what? No, we're cleaning house."
He
How?
came in, he said, "You're out of here.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
out of
and
here.
it was
You're out
cool
of
because
here."
yesterday I was listening to an interview during my lunch that he did. It wasn't the interview, it was the press conference that he was doing on the official announcement, and they were airing it on the NFL Network on the radio on Sirius. So I'm listening to it on my lunch, and I like what he was saying. He's saying they're changing the culture. He's saying the culture shouldn't be trying to just become a winner. He's like, the culture needs to be championship or bust every single year. You know, he's already got them thinking, no, we need to be better than just average. And he said he even talked about like we right now we got them in the gym. They're painting it up. Everything's going to look different. He's basically when he's saying everything's changing, he's talking about even the look of the facilities. We're putting a fresh coat of paint, putting new logos. Everything's changing, and that is so good, especially for a guy like Justin Herbert who just got his big contract, who's just hitting his prime, and he started naming off the talent there, bro. And I think as much as we, you know, the whole Michigan thing and our thoughts on that, the dude is a damn good coach. We've seen what he can do. And he is going to be just great for Justin Herbert, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a big thing for the Chargers.
Hey, Mike, I see where you're going with this. He says the Chargers' common denominator for so many years has been their inability to stay healthy. If they can actually do so, they will be dangerous. Yes, that's true. But the type of culture that you got to imagine. Look at Pete. Just for example, look at Pete Carroll, winning coach in college, brought that same kind of culture to Seattle. And what was he? A successful coach in Seattle. However we want to look at it, he was successful. He went to Super Bowls.
Yeah.
He went to the playoffs how many years in a row? He brought success and the Legion of Boom. All that.
And even for his age, the players play for him, like love him as if he was a player coach. That's what's cool. What I love about Pete Carroll is it doesn't matter if it's the fans or the players, the media, everybody loves that dude. But he's also one of those coaches that he brought that college mindset of accountability, discipline,
exactly,
old school mindset. That's what Harbaugh's
when that old ass man is out there running drills,
dog. Yes, I saw him taking snaps,
throwing the ball
in practice. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that, man. It's dope.
Rolling out. We seen Pete Carroll drop back and roll out in practice and throw a dime. What? When you're able to do something like that, Jim Harbaugh is going to change everything that's going on with that Chargers team.
And it wasn't just injuries, bro.
Regardless
Come on,
of what happened.
Look at the roster they've had. The roster they've had has been loaded. Even, you know, for Brandon Staley, for all his inabilities as a play caller, his time there, he built what they built, the stars on that defense, massive. It was loaded on that defense. So even with all those players, bro, he still could not. Hell, that defense was trash. That was on Staley. Because it definitely wasn't on the name talent. I'll tell you that much.
Exactly. I agree. As a fan, the worst thing the NFL did was stick two teams in LA, which I've been saying this for years.
They should have never taken the Chargers out of San Diego, man.
Ever. And then you expect the fans to follow. Ram games are a joke with all the red. And Charger games are not much better. But with Jim as coach of the Chargers, it will be interesting if
this is going to be that's a great point, John. That is a great. I didn't think of that. What it's going to do to the fan sport.
Harbaugh has fans of his coaching.
Yeah.
So with him being in San Diego now, damn it. I'm calling them the damn San Diego Chargers because you should have never took them out of San Diego and built a whole big dumbass stadium in LA for them when you got a whole nother team as with the Rams, and now you're both whatever.
Well, you know, it's funny is when the real side note, when the Rams play the Niners, he said the red, that becomes the Niners stadium. When the Chargers play the Cowboys, that becomes the Cowboys stadium. Just saying. Should have never took them out of San Diego. Their fans are loyal.
Never did it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. But I think John Harbaugh is going to come in and he's going to change, or Jim is going to come. I don't know which one it is.
Jim.
Jim Harbaugh is going to come in. And
I get confused sometimes too.
Yeah. He's going to change the culture of the Chargers game or the Chargers team. And I don't think we'll see another Harbaugh Bowl, but I just think that it's going to be very, very good for the culture of that team, that locker room. And I guess the city of LA.
Well, it could be interesting though. It could be interesting because I really think that there's enough talent on this team, bro, that it's not going to take him long to get this team back to the playoffs. It could happen next year because there's already talent in place there. You know what I mean? You're going to see him he's going to add a little more to the offensive line to protect Herbert in the draft. They've got Slater there, who's already a beast, and you've got that defense. So, you know, the best safety in the league with Derwin James. You've got Justin Herbert, who is an elite quarterback talent. So he's put himself in a situation where he's like, all right, I don't have to rebuild right now. I just got to take what we had and turn them into what the expectations should be. Exactly. So we could be seeing this team going from like that bad season into a battle for first place for the division next year. It's not entirely out of the realm of possibility when you think about it, because he's not rebuilding the team. It's rebuilding the culture and the coaching staff. That's what's going on here.
John says, remember, the Battlehawks were born out of that rubble, and I truly believe one of the first stabs west for the UFL will be San Diego. I could see that if they can get something done with Snapdragon Stadium.
Yeah, I think San Diego would work. I still think that they got to bring Seattle back. They had a great.
They have to bring Seattle back.
Yeah,
you got to bring Seattle back. You got to, if you're going to make a big move New Orleans back to Portland, since that's where they were originally.
Yeah,
the team. Move the Gamblers' name to Vegas. Move the Vipers' name to somewhere else, like San Diego Vipers.
Yeah.
Oakland Vipers. I mean, or bring back the Oakland Invaders and just get rid of the Vipers franchise name altogether. You know, hell, bring back the San Francisco Demons of the XFL. Just bring some West Coast teams in here. Yeah, Arizona, John. Yes, Arizona. Mm-hmm. Arizona Rattlers. Well, can't do that because
you can't do that. That's arena football.
That's the arena football league.
But they can go somewhere with that. I mean, you've got so many options because of the region. You know, they can use something out there, man. So Arizona is a good market though, because Arizona, it's one of the fastest growing metropolitan areas in the country. It's big and it can support so much out there. You know what I mean? So
and Zara, I feel you on that. But here's the problem. Instead of the Chargers having their own stadium now, they have to share with the Rams. And I think that's just so stupid.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love that stadium.
Two professional football teams, two NFL teams having to share a big-ass stadium. That's just dumb. That's dumb. That's the dumbest thing to me.
Well, I mean, you know, they've been doing it out in with the Jets and Giants for years. Oh, who, by the way, that damn field isn't even in New York. It's in Jersey.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You said not anymore.
I feel you. How does the New York
aren't both San Diego or aren't both LA teams playing at SoFi?
Yeah, they both are. Yeah.
Just saying.
And that, you know what though? I want to see that stadium, bro. That stadium is beautiful. Beautiful stadium, man.
It's not as beautiful as the Cowboy Stadium, just saying. Jerry's World, you know.
Jerry's
no
World
stadium.
Jerry, you know what? Let's be real. Y'all can hate the Cowboys, but what Jerry did with AT&T Stadium when they designed that and built that was he basically took the stadium game to another level and told y'all catch up. That's when all these other teams started building, planning all these new stadiums, man, trying to match or be better than y'all ain't gonna be better than Jerry's World. It ain't gonna happen.
Now, I have a topic to get into, but it involves fan mail as well. So, with that being said, Gabe, what time is it?
It's fan mail time, baby. I think.
Is it?
I think.
Okay, so let's get into Angel's question real quick. Rick, Hit, I got you. Hit's actually not on the show today because he watches on YouTube, so I do apologize.
Oh, I was wondering about him. I was going to ask you a while
Yeah.
ago, but you were talking
He's
about
not a-
something. So
He's not a Facebooker, so that's why Hit isn't on the show today. Angel asks, who do y'all think is staying in or leaving in Dallas through free agents?
ooh, that's a good question.
And this actually comes up with the topic that Zara was sending me about the Dallas Cowboys offseason. Now, we don't have a lot of cap space. We have a lot of void years.
The cap is going to be rumored to go about to 242 mil. That's what they're expecting. You know, it goes up every year with the league. So that'll be a big difference there first. That you won't start seeing them sign a lot of these players until after the cap is set. That way they know how much money they're working with. But if you want, let's talk priorities, bro. All right, let's talk priorities. First of all, I think they keep Tyron Smith. I think Tyron Smith stays. He's going to finish out his career as a Cowboy, for better or worse. When he's on the field, he's the Sean Lee of our offensive lineman, bro. When he's on the field, the dude is elite.
Yeah.
The problem is staying on the field, but it's hard to ignore what he does when he's there. But they are going to have to draft his replacement if they're planning on keeping Tyler Smith at guard. We don't know yet, but that's just speculation. So I think Tyron stays. I think there is a good chance that Tony Pollard is not a Cowboy next year.
I was going to say,
especially if they bring in Derrick Henry, who's that's the big one right now that everybody that's revolving around the Cowboys. Stephon Gilmore, I think they could see. I don't know. See, it depends on the defensive coordinator here. Who gets brought in? Do they keep Gilmore even with Diggs coming back, and then you have Bland and you got that three-headed monster cornerback, or are they good enough to say, look, we don't need to pay Gilmore, we're just going to put Bland on the other side, and we got Diggs coming back healthy? Personally, if it's me, I'm like, let's sign Gilmore for one more year. Why not? But
right, because
that's one.
Bell is still coming up too.
Yeah, so he's one that's on the fence now. Rico Dowdle is also a free agent. We talked about maybe Pollard isn't there. I think if you bring in somebody like Henry, it's going to have to be a two-back system, and I think Rico Dowdle complements what Derrick Henry does very well. So it would be a cheaper route to keep Dowdle there. If you're going to sign one of those big free agent running backs and let Pollard walk, I could see them keeping Dowdle there. Now, we've got Tyler Biadasz. I expect them to keep him there unless they go center in the draft, but they would probably have to go high. In the draft if they were going to replace him. I think he's worth keeping around, though. Dorrance Armstrong Jr. is one that people have been talking about. That one is intriguing because I have a feeling that they are not going to keep him. I think with Sam Williams there, we've just, and that depends, too, like you talked about, what do we do with Parsons? Are they going to, if we need the depth there, then, yeah, of course you want to keep Armstrong there. So a lot of it depends on what we're planning to do with certain guys. And then we've got, of course, the one me and you always talk about, Jordan Lewis. We still don't know. I would love to see Jordan Lewis there, man. I have a feeling that he's another one that I think that we could see no longer a Cowboy, him being a free agent now. And then Dante Fowler Jr.
Gallup.
Yeah, well, Gallup's not a free agent, though. He's still under contract, but it's his contract that could be the reason that what gets him traded. And that breaks my heart, bro, because other than Dak, he is my favorite player on this team and this offense, and he has been for a few years. But I don't think last year was like a lot of Cowboys fans that don't really watch the X's and O's stuff. They're like, oh, he's trash, he didn't do nothing. I'm like, well, they weren't really scheming him into the games a lot. I mean, how many times did you see them even throw to him? He was not thrown to a lot. Yeah.
And he made those big catches. They were big catches.
Yeah, it was like a big third down.
He
Yeah,
wasn't involved like he was in the past when Amari
exactly.
Cooper was
What
there.
got him that
You know what I mean?
5-year extension? Yeah, you're right. Which is
Exactly.
why it breaks my heart to say that I could probably see them trading him either for draft stock, or some most likely for draft stock. I could see them trading him in the draft. And then it would become, does Dallas go after a receiver in the draft to replace him? Or do they feel comfortable moving up Tolbert? And also Brandon Cooks, he has one more year left. So I expect him to play that year out. So I don't think they have to worry about him not being on. Maybe they say, look, we'll move Cooks to that wide receiver 2 spot, put Tolbert in the slot, and then we'll wait till next year to go draft another receiver for the side. So but as far as for the free agents, I think Dante Fowler, I could see him gone, especially without Dan Quinn there, because he was there because of Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
CJ Goodwin, I think we got to keep him because he does wonders for us on special teams, which goes
Yeah, he
unheralded a lot.
definitely does.
So I think they need to definitely keep him. But what do you think, bro? I mean, I'm sitting here talking about what I think of each of these players. What are your thoughts?
With the, I mean, I totally agree. With a lot of the players that you mentioned. My main thing with the off season and who could be coming back, it's going to depend on Dak's ability to say, okay, I will hold off on an extension because, as Zara was explaining to me, we were talking about this morning before the show. He said we should extend Lamb, extend Parsons with high signing bonuses, extend
Yeah.
Zach and DeMarcus another 2 years with more void money, hit Dak with a converting maximum base salary into bonus that would make roughly 18 million in cap room, but increase his void years to 35 million in 2025 and 20 million in 2026. If you do that, then you go and draft a quarterback behind him, right?
Yeah.
Basically, that option. It's basically that option, or pay him 50 to 60 mil in his contract. That would bum more void money down than just for him.
And in
So
a
we'll be
perfect
looking at
world, in
more
a
void
perfect
money for
world,
other
that's all
players
team
that
friendly.
we
Yeah.
need to sign.
In a perfect world, that's all team friendly. But let's not
Yeah.
forget, these guys have high profile agents. Okay, so it's not going to be a perfect situation for the
Yeah.
team all the time. But that breakdown
'Cause
right there
we're
makes
currently sitting
complete
at
sense.
negative 21.9 million. And it's because we're sitting at negative 21.9 million in cap. So we
Yeah.
need to do
Well,
something to
they'll
free up
clear
cap
off. They'll
space.
clear off a lot of that, and then
And
plus
getting rid of some
the
players.
cap's likely going to go up also. So it depends. They
Yeah.
will clear off some of that. They're going to shed some of the fat somewhere, and I think a lot of it could be on defense. You know what I mean? Plus,
Yeah, I
if
do too.
if they don't tag Pollard, then that franchise money, that franchise tag money is going to be available as well. So it's going to
Yeah.
be, but all of this happens after the March deadline when teams can start, when contracts officially end for these players. As of right now, when you look up, they're still in this 2023 season year, so it's going against the cap. That's going to change as soon as those contracts end in March.
Yeah. I kind of agree. Dak
Yeah,
holds all the cards in the Cowboys offseason, and he does in a
does.
way.
Yeah,
Dak,
he
it's
does.
all on Dak and Jerry and what the decisions get made. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So to answer your question there, Angel, it's up in the air, bro.
yeah.
But as Gabe was
Basically,
breaking down,
yeah.
I think a lot of these players, a lot of our players that we've seen the past year or two may not be here. To be honest with
Yeah,
you, they
you'll
may
see
not.
the key players. You'll see the key players there. Like I said, I don't see Tyron Smith going anywhere. I think they got to
Okay.
keep him there, But
What Zara
it
gave
is,
me was the 2024 situation he was stating. So yeah, that's
yeah.
what we would have to do
But
this year.
we still don't know what the cap is going up to yet. Okay,
Right.
the NFL's still going to
haven't
raise the
made that
cap too.
announcement.
So yeah.
And they'll probably make that after the Super Bowl and going.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Before the
All this will
March,
come in the
or
official,
maybe even after
NFL
the
off
contracts
season.
end in
Okay,
March.
yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be what
So there you
a
have
lot of
it.
teams decide which players they're going to keep, and especially for the Cowboys. But Jerry is a master at clearing up room when they have to. So If he's willing to go all in, he's
Mhm.
going to find the money to bring in the
Gonna
players
do
he
what he
needs to
got to
bring,
do.
or keep the ones that he's got to keep. Yeah,
Exactly. He'll pull it out his ass because
yeah,
Jerry got money on top of money on top of money on top of money buried under money that's on top of other money. So Jerry's just balling. He's not
yeah.
worried. He's an 80-year-old rich man. Next question is coming from Rig. He asked, "What other Week 1 matchups in the UFL you hope to see and why?"
This is the one I took the jump on. All right,
And we
my
know
bad.
he Birmingham Stallions and the Arlington Renegades, and he wants the Birmingham Stallions to get stomped all over by the Renegades. We know this.
It's
We
gonna
know
happen.
that
It's gonna happen.
Gabe feels very, very highly about these Renegades. And I'm
We're gonna,
starting to just like getting me on the Dak bandwagon a little bit.
Renegade gonna jump on the stallion. He gonna tame his ass and say, "You do what I tell you. You go where I tell you to go." And then we're gonna look at those fans and just shut up now. That's all I've been hearing is stallion fans, man. It's annoying. Y'all are the
Yeah.
Eagles fans of the UFL. Except y'all got more than one championship. At least I'll give you that.
Yo, the Eagles and the Lions fans of the UFL.
Oh man, them
horrible.
Lions fans.
You're worse than Cowboys fans.
Yeah, that's bad.
And that's
That's
tough
bad.
to say.
Yeah, it is.
That's tough to say.
Well,
I would like to see this. The DC Defenders versus the Memphis Showboats, because I think Memphis is going to surprise a lot of teams this season.
I
Memphis is
agree.
gonna surprise
I
a lot of
agree.
people.
They Memphis came on strong at the end of the season. They added some pretty good talent, man. They really did.
And then with their off season, their super draft and their special draft, they've picked up a lot of pieces. So I would actually be intrigued to see Memphis versus DC Week 1. I'd also like to see St. Louis versus the Brahmas.
Well, I'd like
And
to
I'd
see
like it
St.
to
Louis.
be
I'd like to see St. Louis against Michigan. That's one thing
that
that I'd
too.
like to see.
That would be
Yeah. I'd
I
like to see
like
St.
that.
Louis and Michigan in Week 1.
I like that battle of the
I
Midwest.
think the Brahmas. I think the Brahmas and the Roughnecks would be a good first week matchup because you got the two conferences and it's the Texas right away. Boom! It's getting Texas fired up. You know what I mean about the season. But I don't know,
Yeah.
Michigan and St. Louis. Something tells me like that could be one. I mean, it's two fan bases. It
That
don't
could be a
matter where
good
you
game.
play it. There's going to be a crowd either whichever city you play in. There's going to be a crowd in a good venue, so that could be a good. But I'm with you
How
with
about
DC. I'm with you with DC and Memphis. I like that. I like that one.
because I'm trying to think of all it's so hard sometimes just to
What would
remember
you
all the
think of
teams.
what would you think of DC? And well, don't no. Sorry, let me back up. What would you think of St. Louis and Memphis?
Now that's
what you were getting ready to. Yeah, I would think
that
I would like that one.
would be very, very interesting. I would really like that to start off the season. Definitely Week 1. Yeah, I would definitely love to see that because you got to look at it like this: St. Louis and Memphis is right there.
Yeah,
and with it being XFL conference versus USFL conference, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just brings out more of the excitement for the Memphis side. St. Louis, we already know. They got the fan base, they got the excitement, they got everything that they need. Whether that game is going to be in the Battle Dome or whether that game is going to be in Liberty.
Except we don't know if they got a quarterback yet, but that don't matter because the fans are going to show and we're still going to watch because it's St. Louis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the St. Louis Battlehawks. They sold out their games damn near every season. They put up 38,000 in attendance in the Battle Dome. The fans are going to show up and show out. That's not a question.
I agree.
The question of most fans for the St. Louis Battlehawks have is who the hell is our quarterback going to be? Who the hell is our running back going to be since it's not Max Borghi? Probably be Mateo. But I just think Memphis is going to surprise a lot of people this season. I don't know. Something is telling me that Memphis is going to surprise a lot of people.
I agree.
And
yeah,
starting
I
the
think
season
Memphis
off against a team like St. Louis, whether it's at home or in the Battle Dome, it's going to be big
I
for
see,
the
like
UFL.
like the Stallions fans are barking and chirping about how they're going to dominate the league. I'm like, y'all aren't really taking Memphis serious in your conference. You know what I mean? Like y'all might not even win the USFL conference because Memphis is going to be a problem, bro. I'm telling you, they came on that second half of last season, man. That defense just looked ridiculous, and like I said, they only added talent to that team. So I'm like, I want to see Memphis just put a beat down on the Stallions. If I'm being real, I want to see everybody in this league feed on some Stallions.
Feed up on the Stallions. Yes. Because I'm tired of everybody thinking that, everybody who's a USFL Birmingham Stallions fan, I'm tired of all you Stallion fans thinking that you're just going to come into this new UFL with XFL teams and dominate.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's why I'm even saying, like they might, but even Memphis just getting better. Like it's not going to be easy for the Stallions to even win the USFL conference. And I know this is all preseason speculation for us, but let's just be real. We're going off of what we saw last year. You know what I mean? And the players that were added this year. So, and yeah, Rig, that's why I'm saying Michigan and DC would be good. That would be a good one. San Antonio versus Houston.
If this is week 1.
It would be big, bro. I would love it.
If you called week 1 right here on the Gridiron today, February 3rd, 2024, if you have just told us the week 1 schedule, I'm going to kick you. Because how do you know this and I don't, damn it?
Well, these are the matchups. I think those are the matchups right there, though. Those are the matchups that I think make the most sense to get us excited. Because we talked about the San Antonio, Houston, Texas, the Texas one to start it. You know, you talked about DC, and I threw Michigan in there. And we're like, okay. But Memphis and St. Louis, just like, I mean, obviously Arlington and Stallions, we all know what that does. It's the two champions. Everybody's hyped. Hey, if you do, let me know what numbers you're picking because we're going to split that pot.
I'm going to pick the same ones.
We're going to split that lottery, man.
I could definitely see. John says I could definitely see San Antonio versus Houston. That's a huge storyline. Stop. Wait. This isn't the NFL. We don't say storylines in the UFL.
Storylines. Why not?
There's no damn storyline.
Storylines are something that you attach to the matchup. You're like, okay, so what's the matchup we got this week? This one? Okay, let's look at how you know what can we roll with here? Maybe the coaches are, you know, they know each other, or maybe they used to coach with each other. You know, that's a storyline, dog. It's not predetermined. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to clear it up because, you know,
Jersey's like, don't you dare say storyline and Tate
this
new league already.
Don't get me started. We're not going to put that rigged effect. Yeah. We're not going to put that rigged effect on the UFL.
Yeah.
At all. But yes, I agree with you guys. That would definitely hype it up for the season. This lineup here would actually be pretty good. Michigan versus DC. Michigan versus DC. San Antonio versus Houston. Arlington versus the Stallions, which we already know is happening. And then Memphis versus St. Louis. That would actually really be a good lineup for week 1 of the UFL. And I'm hoping we get it. Not even going to lie. I'm hoping we get it. Next question by Rick. Thank you for that, Rick. Next question. Before the start of the UFL season, who do you think will be in the first championship game? Arlington and Memphis.
We didn't even talk about this. And that was my picks right there. Right there.
Because I don't think Birmingham's going to go back.
I don't think so. I think Memphis
Jamar Smith was a whole year
passed
off.
them, bro. Memphis surpassed them, in my opinion, with their additions in the offseason. Yeah.
I really think that Memphis will win the USFL conference. I think they will end this first season as the USFL conference champions.
Because like you said, Jamar Smith took a whole year off.
With injury, but
yeah. I mean, you're not bringing back the MVP. The MVP of last season, both leagues, they're gone. Well, we don't know about for sure about AJ, but the way we're thinking, he's going to be gone too. So that's going to make a big difference. Like we talked about with St. Louis, bro, it's going to show. It's going to show with the Stallions too. Let's be real. Excuse me, Alex Magoo was a magician last season. We saw that
Yeah.
dude making ridiculous plays, man, like plays he shouldn't have been making. So,
And don't get us wrong. We know Jamar Smith took the Birmingham Stallions to their first championship. We get all that.
mhm,
But what Alex Magoo did compared to what Jamar Smith did,
yeah,
I'm just saying,
it was
Alex Magoo
MVP level.
looked
I
a
mean,
lot
Alex
better.
Magoo played at the MVP level. He did, you know.
Exactly.
Rig, I don't care. We'll be ready. We'll be ready, man. Because y'all may have swept us in the regular season last year, but what happened when it counted, baby? What happened when it counted? Yeah.
Greg Williams, we're not going to talk about Greg Williams, John, because Greg Williams was the reason why the DC Defenders didn't win the XFL championship last year.
He didn't adjust. Yeah.
The hell
He
with not
turned into Dan
adjusting.
Quinn. He was Dan Quinn.
He
Oh
said,
my God.
we're just going blitz and blitz and blitz on every
Dude,
single play. And
Luis Perez
Luis
was eating
Perez
that
says,
blitz up too, man. He was eating that blitz up. He saw it coming every single
he said,
time.
come here. He
Yeah.
said, you want blitz? Come on. Come on. Blitz. Watch this down I throw. Oh, watch this little check down I throw to the running back who's going to go for about 20, 30 yards because y'all defense is blitzing and everybody's up here and everybody who's covering the receivers, you got mad space. Watch what I'm going to do. So, yeah, we ain't going to talk about Greg Williams' bum ass. That's why he's no longer a coach in the NFL because he's an idiot. And if Dan Quinn continues down that road and has another season as a head coach for the Washington Red Commanderskins that he did with the Falcons, getting them to a Super Bowl and then giving up a 28-point lead at halftime and pulling a Detroit Lions, I'm just saying.
You know, I still
Luis
think.
Perez played us for the fourth time at that point. Yeah, that guy could read us. Yes.
Well,
he
no.
could read.
Perez didn't. He didn't. I think it was. Oh God, who are the other two trash quarterbacks that I was whining about all damn year last year when I kept saying Arlington replaced both of these idiots? Oh, Slaughter was horrible. Yeah, see, Perez when he came in, man, he came in late in the season, and then it took him a few games to get going. But he hit the stride, got everything by then. So when y'all played him in the playoffs, that was the Luis Perez. It was the quarterback that had a handle on this offense. So
Yep.
yeah,
And that was when him and Stoops was on the same exact page.
And you know what's messed up, bro, is if this was the original Roughnecks, I would be expecting them to compete. They still might, but this is the Gamblers team that just wasn't that good last year. And if there was the Roughnecks that they brought from the XFL, that roster, and Wade coaching them, I'd be like, oh, damn, okay, they're going to be a problem again. And they may be.
But they do got Wade.
It's a different team. Yeah, they do. It's a different squad, Wade. Bro. That's the problem for me. But who knows? That's the beauty of it all, man, is that right now our speculation is actually serving now to build excitement because we know the schedule's coming. We know everything is good. We're ready to go, man. And I'm ready. I'm ready, bro. We need to see that schedule on Monday,
Trust
man.
me. I know he was with the Vipers. And you know why it didn't work out for him with the Vipers? Because Rod Woodson's a trash ass coach. Sorry to say it, but Rod Woodson was a trash coach. And having Luis Perez at quarterback and having Luis Perez at quarterback, but having Rod Woodson as your head coach, that was a bad decision. That was a bad decision by the XFL to hire Rod Woodson as a head coach. He was horrible. This grown ass man cried on the sideline. So at the end of the day, it just wasn't a good fit for him. And you got a guy like Luis Perez who has talent, who's very, very talented. Come on now. You know what I mean? Like you set him up for failure, putting him up with a coach like that. And that's just my opinion. I really think that he was set up for complete failure with Rod Woodson as head coach. I think the Vipers would have the roster because you got to imagine they had the most NFL players on their roster, or most players that had NFL games or played in NFL games and had NFL experience on their roster. and then you put a coach like Rod Woodson there who doesn't even know what he's doing, it ruined the season for the Vipers from the jump. And that's why Luis Perez got traded. Period. You know what I mean? So that's just how I feel. I think that was huge for the Vipers. Having Rod Woodson as a coach was not good for us at all. It was not a good look. It wasn't something that we should have had. We should have had a better coach with actual coaching experience, because Rod Woodson has no coaching experience. Rod Woodson was not a good coach at all, in my opinion. Not when you're blaming your offensive coordinators, for decisions that are being made in the game. Yeah, you don't deserve to be a head coach.
Yeah.
And Rod Woodson did not deserve to be a head
and
coach.
I firmly believe that, bro. Like a head coach, you know your head coach material when no matter what anybody on your staff or your players did, like how bad they played or how bad they coached, you take it on yourself, and then you let the crap roll downhill behind the scenes. But you're right. The fact that he was kind of pushing everybody else under the bus, it was like, okay, yeah, you need to go.
The hyenas in the building.
How you doing, girl?
What's going on, Amanda? B-Hawk Live. X-Fan Nation, X-Fan Show. Y'all know who she is. The Queen Hyena. Miss Amanda. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, John. He did can his OC. You know what I mean? And he blamed every damn problem that the Vipers was having on his OC instead of his damn self, and taking accountability as a coach. And I think that's what ultimately got Luis Perez traded over to Arlington. And then once you got, like I said, once you put him underneath a coach like Bob Stoops, there's greatness there.
Oh yeah.
Bob Stoops is a coach of greatness. He has greatness in his blood when it comes to coaching. That's just him. He's proven that on the college level. He never got a chance to prove it, or he didn't want to take the chance at the NFL level to prove that. But at the end of the day, Bob Stoops is a winner. Bob Stoops knows how to coach men into champions. And guess what? Luis Perez said, I want a championship. So he came to Arlington, took a couple weeks to get meshed with his guys. And once he did that,
I was so happy, bro. I was so happy. You saw me all last year, bro. You saw me all last year just freaking yelling like, we're in Arlington. Please do something about the quarterback position. And then finally it happened, man. So, but I appreciate y'all for, letting him walk, making him available.
This just in. Hold on. I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
Breaking news.
Oh, I like that. Even had a little bit of
Mike Zimmer.
Yeah, he's been one of the names tied to Dallas.
He is meeting with the Cowboys right now about the DC job.
Yeah, he is meeting with them this weekend, and I believe Ron Rivera is supposed to meet with them maybe as soon as Monday. We haven't gotten a day on that yet, but Mike Zimmer, I've been seeing and hearing more and more with his name tied to the defensive coordinator position for the Cowboys. So it doesn't surprise me.
Dirty is gonna get jealous. Oh, that's not Ball Hawk. That's damn Dirty. I'm sorry. He's just got Ball Hawk's picture up. Okay, I'm sorry. What's going on, Ball Hawk? Or what's going on, Dirty? Damn it.
What's up, Dirty?
And Amanda says Dirty's gonna get jealous of all the attention I just got. Well, we gotta welcome in Dirty. Master speculator. He's right about a lot of things. He's been right about a lot of things, I should say. But welcome in, guys. We greatly appreciate you. Always great to see you here, Dirty. You already know, man. Definitely great to see you here all the time. And Amanda, we're gonna always give you more attention over Dirty. It's Dirty. Why not? Let's move on. Riggs' last question for today's show. He says, if this season is a success in your opinion, how long do you think it will take before they add more teams? Immediately.
2
I'm
years.
going to go ahead and answer that really quickly. Immediately.
2 years. That's what I'm saying.
You don't think?
I think they got to get these players, first of all, that are on these teams living and practicing in their cities before they can even think of adding more teams. And I just
Well,
don't know. I don't know if that would see that much of a profit. You know what I mean? Because then you're
They could add
asking
in two.
teams to have more players to say that now these are more guys that got to worry about, supporting themselves because we can't do it yet. If you cannot support the players that are in the league right now with a place to live in their home cities and practice, then you got no business adding more teams. You know what I
I
mean?
was just trying to show Dirty some love, Amanda.
She's like, liar. He is not. He is not right about a lot. Yeah.
They could have started this year with 10 teams, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Canton field.
Mm-hmm.
You had Seattle. You had Orlando.
Bro,
how many?
how is it, Jersey, that Canton, the place, the home of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, right now does not have a professional team in any league playing there? It's sad. There needs to be
It's
a
beyond
team
me.
there. There needs to be a team there.
Even if you were to bring in the Pittsburgh Maulers franchise and move them to Canton, or hell, the Philadelphia Stars, or
Maulers would make sense. They'll
it
get
makes
more
the most
support there
sense.
than they get in Pittsburgh. You know what
Exactly, because how many Pittsburgh fans is really going to drive to Ohio,
I'm saying?
where they hate Ohio, to go and root for a team? Just call them the Canton Maulers.
Yeah.
Get it
But
over with.
for me, I'm thinking 2 years. And then you add 2 teams. But it depends. Like I said earlier in the show, it depends on if they pull a profit this season, how big of a profit that is as well. You know what I mean? Because then you get investors involved and then more money comes in. So a lot of it's going to depend on the success and how much success the first season has.
Rick said the closest thing is the Cleveland Browns. My bad. You said professional.
Man,
He
he's
loves
hating on
his
them Browns, man.
the
You know,
Browns.
hey, y'all did y'all.
They
Hey,
scared them.
he can talk because y'all did a number on the Browns, man, in the playoffs.
Yes.
So you can talk. You can talk. Yeah.
I don't think a yellow and black team in Ohio would be good.
Rebrand the
I
logo
don't
and the
think-
colors, man. Keep the name, rebrand the logo and the colors. They've already changed the Maulers colors before.
It was
You know?
purple and orange.
Yeah, that was ugly. That was horrible.
Then they went to the Pittsburgh City colors of black and gold, or black and yellow.
Bring in a green logo or something, man. Since the Seattle Sea Dragons ain't there, put
something. You can do something. Hell, you can even give like a Cleveland Browns type of feel with the orange and white and black. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you something, Jersey. What? Okay, how much success do you? I mean, would you prefer them? Opposite of me, would you prefer them to add teams before they're putting these players living in, putting a roof over their head in their home cities and practice?
When you put it like that, I think it would be more sustainable to slowly, let's just say, add 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Add 2 teams that we already know have a field, like Canton, like the Canton field, or Orlando, or bring back Seattle, which these teams have fields. Just start off with 2 teams if you have to, or even 4 if you can afford to.
Yeah.
Because now I'm going to go deeper into what you're talking about. If you can afford to bring in 2 to 4 teams, bring in those 2 to 4 teams that have stadiums. We may have to take some XFL teams and put them in the USFL conference, granted. But now you have an expanded league. But if you can afford to, now you're able to put these players in a practice facility in their home, in their respective cities. The only thing that I think they would run into and a major issue with is living.
Yeah. And I think that goes back to my point on stability with investors, because you want to have a successful season because you want investors to come on board because that just means more money to grow.
Exactly.
But and to me, if you've got the players that are there now and you can get them in their home cities and get their living, expenses covered and have a place for them to practice in their home cities, so they're able to get out in the communities, that shows stability after one season to me. And that to me is what investors are going to look at. They're going to say, are you stable? Because investors, what they want is all they care about is a return on their investment. And
Exactly.
stability shows them that, look, in drinking in the long term, I'm going to get some money back on this investment. If you're not stable enough to have these players settled in where they're playing at, then I mean, to me, that doesn't show stability. But I see your point too. Like, I mean, it's also more attractive if you're saying, hey, look, we just had a good first season. Now we're adding 2 more teams. That's growth. That could be something else that certain investors are looking at. Like, okay, yeah, you guys are adding to new markets now. Let me invest. So I get that. I hear
Because
that.
there you go. It could bring in the investors that they need to get those home stadiums made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or those practice
I hear you.
facilities
I
made.
hear you.
Built.
I still for myself would rather wait till second year, but I hear you. I do hear you on that.
But that's why we say don't even touch 16 yet, Dirty.
No,
Don't touch
yeah.
16.
No. They need to be
We
looking at 2
say
teams
8
first.
to 10,
2 teams.
8 to 10, maybe 8 to 12. That's why I say
Yeah,
add 2 to 4 teams at the max.
I
At
feel
the
like 4
max, and
teams.
only
I feel
if
like
it's
4 teams
affordable.
would be too much. Yeah. Yeah, I think 2 teams would definitely be the safe zone.
But 4 teams may not be too much if what you're saying about the investors, you know what I mean? Look at it this way. Well, let's go off of what you said. Bring in 2 more teams, 4 more teams. And those investors are like, well, damn, I've already expanded to 4 other markets. Let me go ahead and I got a couple million I can invest. I got a couple million I can help throw in to a practice facility. You get what I'm saying? So it could attract those investors by adding 2 to 4 teams.
It
You know
could.
what I mean?
I just feel
It
that
could attract,
four
but
teams would
if you
be
want to
reaching after
detract,
only one season, though. I think 4 teams.
right?
I
4
thi-
teams would be reaching, but it would only make sense. Like I keep saying, it would only make sense if it was affordable and if you had the right amount of investors, like a Shane McMahon or Stephanie McMahon or these guys from Saudi with all this Saudi money and say, hey, we'll go ahead and build y'all a practice facility right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Because you got to imagine by the end of the season, we're only going to be in what? August at the earliest, at the latest, excuse me.
Yeah.
July, end of July at the earliest. So that means you got all of August, all of September, all of October, all of November, all of December, all of January, all of February to get these practice stadiums up and running. That's 6 to 7 months.
Yeah. No, yeah.
If you
I
have
hear
the
you.
money to do it and those investors are intrigued and you bring in 2 more teams, let's just say 2, and you bring in 2 more teams, now we're looking at these investors saying, okay, not only are we going to invest, but next season we want to become a private owner.
Well, and I mean, see, if you look on the comments at what John's saying, and that goes to my point. He's saying, they have to do it reasonably. You don't want to be like the elf that jumps 2 steps and back down 1. The expansion has to be sustainable, which is why I think looking to add teams after the first season to me is trying to take those 2 steps forward. When you just take your 1 step, get these players that are on the current teams into their home cities living and have their expenses covered, let them be able to practice in their home cities, get out in the community. And then after year 2, that's your next step. All right, now do we add 2 to 4 teams? Because we're doing all right. You know what I mean? What's up, Brett? How you doing, man?
How you doing today, brother? But no, I get you.
That's the way I see it.
I get
that's
you.
The way I see
it makes sense. Dirty says there was only 8 quality teams between the 2 leagues. Do you agree
but
with
a
that?
lot of those players have shuffled around now, though. And
No, but do you agree with the quality teams out of all 16 teams between both leagues? Do you believe we only had 8 quality teams?
Okay, here's my take about what we saw on the field. I thought the USFL had from week 1 had very good quality football on the field now. But teams like Memphis took them a little bit to get going, but we saw what they became later in the season. Teams just got better. We saw like the Maulers with their defense. So maybe like, okay, at least for the USFL, the Stallions, their quality obviously was higher than everybody else's. But if you look at the XFL, it was a little harder to gauge at first because of the fact that they had such a short amount of time to prepare for the season. It wasn't until about mid-season that most of these teams started hitting their stride. Of course, you had like AJ McCarron doing his thing from week one, but I mean, he was prepared. He already knew what he was going into. So, but we saw it. Like, would you say Arlington wasn't a quality team regular season? Obviously, their record didn't show it, but we saw what they became in the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? So it's very hard to judge how many quality teams we had between both leagues based on, the XFL starting their camp late, only getting 2 weeks before the season started, and the USFL, a lot of those teams just coming on later on in the season. So I do hear what he says, though. If you want to look at the records of these teams, though, he's absolutely right. If you want to just go based on that.
Hard it was. I know how hard that was to type it out and say you agree with Dirty. I know that was so hard for you, bro. But Dirty, I have to see.
If you want to go by records, and how
you're right.
Was then but a lot of these teams have shuffled around.
But when it came to play,
but keep in mind, bro,
the play was good.
But how? I mean, that doesn't mean it's going to be like that all the time. Like, we've got more and more players every year coming up from college that aren't going to get drafted, that may not want to be on a practice squad or get a chance there. So that pool is going to get bigger. You're going to have more players dropping down from the NFL for whatever reason. So it's going to be like a rotating door at times. It's going to be hard. The problem is keeping whatever quality teams you have together at a quality level for more than 1 or 2 seasons. I mean, that's that. As much as I hate to say this, what was so impressive about Birmingham doing it back to back, because of the fact that, it's hard because some of these players are jumping back to the pros. Some of them just start playing. They're going to CFL. They're doing whatever, so that's going to be the key. So it's going to be hard to say, okay, can you keep this many quality teams from year to year? That's going to be up to your coaching, to be honest.
Brett said that there was, in his opinion, there were 12 quality teams with only 8 of them with quality quarterbacks. That is a big
good point. That's a great point. That is a good point.
He also says Arlington was a solid team all year. They just didn't have a
Thank you,
Perez.
See, somebody else gets me. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they were. They just needed that field general, to help them win ball games, man.
Oh, I'm pumped. Yeah. I'm pumped. I'm feeling that these rosters are loaded, and I still think that Memphis is going to shock the USFL conference world. I'm telling you, I'm just saying. Brett says if you ever need a crazy guest, I'm your man, bro. We got you, bro. Trust me. We'll definitely have you come on and talk some crap and get at this guy here, Mr. 30, with his dirty speculations. But no, in all honesty,
but I do agree. I do agree with what Brett said, though. Like, the quarterback thing is big. It really is, especially in spring football, y'all. Let's just, like I just talked about the revolving door. There's a reason that some of these teams have gone to the whole 2 quarterback system, which I absolutely loathe. I hate it, but I get it. It's kind of like what some teams do in college, because this guy's only going to be here for a year, maybe 2. You know what I mean? So you're trying to get this other guy working in case you got to keep him around. But that's why you saw teams like Seattle, like, the Battlehawks, like the Stallions. They were able, and we actually saw more stability. Am I wrong in this? We saw more stability at quarterback in the USFL than we did in the XFL last year. There was a lot more the 2 quarterbacks playing, in the XFL than there was in the USFL. And I like that. I think that attributes to the quality of the football on the field, because you've got a quarterback that he is your field general, no matter what. He's the guy that play in and play out the guys are looking to. He's their captain. He's their, you know what I'm saying? So that makes a big difference. Like Brett was saying, it's not really about the quality of the teams. It was the quality of the quarterback leading those teams. And we saw it. We saw it with Perez. Once he got a hold of that offense at the right time, and they clicked.
in Brett's opinion, the best 4 teams on paper are Birmingham,
Keep
DC, Memphis,
doubting
and
my
St.
boys.
Louis.
Y'all can keep doubting my Renegades all you want, baby. Okay?
Because
Okay?
that backup quarterback they got,
Because you see that crown right
Oh.
there? Yeah. Keep doubting my Renegades.
that backup quarterback that they have,
Y'all doubted my
not even
Renegades
gonna lie.
last year in the playoffs too. And we saw what happened.
I did. I definitely did.
You
I
did.
was like, Renegades ain't gonna win nothing. And then
I
I
was
forgot.
sitting here talking about all we got to do is get in, baby, and everybody's looking at me like you crazy fool.
But then I forgot about the Spring League legend,
Yes.
Mr. Luis Perez himself. And I'm like, hold on. Then they got Bob Stoops over there.
Rig,
and now
I hope
actually
you
have a
keep doubting
quarterback.
him, Rig, because y'all doubted him in the playoffs. And what happened? One and
Just
done,
saying.
y'all. We're one and done.
Just saying. But no, I really think it's gonna be, in my opinion, it's just gonna depend on what they're looking to do in the future, how much money they have to put into getting new teams
Per
or
season, yeah.
bringing back 2 teams and stuff like that. So it's gonna just really depend. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
really gonna depend on how the season goes, how the end of the season looks. You know, where their books are, where their numbers are on the books after this first merge season is done. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, but their success, and everybody, look at me when I'm telling you guys this, their success depends on us showing up to these games, supporting the league, buying merchandise, watching these games on TV if we can't make it to the game. That's a big part of their success factor. Because if we don't go out there and support, we can kiss all this talk out the damn window.
It's true.
All of it.
Because there will be no season 2. If they have like if they're when you do your business module, they've got an expectation that their bottom line. This is what we have to top. And
Exactly.
if their expectations financially, ratings, everything is like way below what they expect, then there won't be another season. So yeah, you're right. We all gotta and not just us watch and support it. We got to use our platforms, like I know we all do, but to try to bring in new people. Like me and you, like you said earlier, the NFL fanboys, those are the ones that the UFL wants to bring in. Because that's where that extra money is going to come from. You bring in the NFL fanboys, and you're good. You're good. So we'll see.
And all those fans out there, and all those football fans out there who don't believe, that don't believe spring football is real football.
I don't know why.
That means
you ain't a football fan. You're just an NFL fan at that point.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Hey, real quick.
Go ahead.
This goes back to Brett. He was talking about the teams he has on paper. Now, he put St. Louis in there. Now, Brett, would you still put St. Louis in there if there's no A.J. McCarron? Because I'm sorry, you're taking away the XFL MVP. I mean, we talked about it earlier, Jersey. There's going to be a big drop on the field, I think, unless you defy the odds and get that diamond in the rough player that plays up to that MVP level like he did and has that much of a command of the offense like he did. But so that's what I want to know. Brett, you put down your 4 teams on paper, and I'm sorry, but
I would think Birmingham is going to be that good without Alex Magoo and going back to Jamar Smith.
Yeah.
We got to stop. We got to remember. Birmingham doesn't have their MVP.
There's a reason that Birmingham, everybody was touting about Birmingham making all kinds of signings and moves. Why do you think they did that? Because there's a lot of players they're looking to replace. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're not necessarily going to be bringing back this championship team fully intact, and your MVP is gone. He's with the Packers now on a futures deal, and because of where this schedule of this season lies, it's going to coincide with that contract. So you got, like you said, Jamar Smith now. We know what he did a couple years ago. Yeah, we get it. It's still going to be a different look, though. It's going to be a much different look. But yeah, and no Tuamo. That's another thing with DC, yeah.
Y'all don't have Tuamo or De'Aaron King. Who the hell is your quarterback? Greg Williams? I'm just saying,
Clowning.
a couple of these teams that we're saying is going to be this good and that good don't even have quarterbacks. Hell, we don't even know who the hell the Memphis quarterback going to be.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
Yeah.
Memphis is starting quarterback. Who was it? Cole? What was it? Cole something.
My
He's not.
issue. See, and
He's
that's
not
the
there.
thing, bro. The quarterback position, there's a reason it's highly scrutinized. And at times unfairly, yes. But because let's be honest, it's the most important position on your offense. The unit, offensive line, to me is more important as a unit, but the player, you got to have a quarterback that's going to get it done. Thank you, David. Yes, that's
Hey,
what I'm
David,
talking about.
You need to talk to this man right here. Come join the Renegade Fan Nation page, the group, and follow the page on Facebook.
Look it up
That's
on
your guy you
Facebook.
want to talk to right there.
Look it up on
That's the guy
Facebook.
you want to talk to.
Our Renegades Fan Nation just started it up, man. So let's get it rolling, man. I got to get these Renegades fans up in here, bro. For real. I got to build up the page so I can start getting them up on the show in here. And we can have a proper fan base in the Gridiron for the chaps.
For the Renegades.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I agree. I agree. Definitely. That's all the questions from Rick today. I greatly appreciate you. But he does want to leave us with this for next season.
Rick got jokes. Rick got jokes today. Damn. Hey, you know what though? Tell me that game is not going to be like the game of the week for the NFL that week. Whatever week it is, we don't know yet.
It will.
But that's going to be the game of the week.
It will be.
Yeah.
And just imagine if that's just
that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see that lion, Micah Parsons, bearing down on CJ Stroud. How's he gonna handle it? Is he gonna throw a pick six to Diggs? I see it coming. I see it coming.
Oh, that's how you gonna do me?
Go on, Texas.
Damn. Oh, yeah, that's right. How would you feel, Uncle? How would you feel about Saquon Barkley, since you're a Giants fan, being in a Dallas Cowboys jersey next season? Just asking. Before we get into this next set of questions.
Just saying, we need a running back. We need a running back. They need a freaking, whatever.
They need a whole overhaul.
Actually, they I don't know. They're gonna have to sign him though. They're gonna have to sign him, but that's another conversation. I would die. Does he have a Saquon jersey? Because he's gonna be burning that.
He said, "Post your Renegade group in my group." Okay, we'll do that in the Pro
I will
Football
appreciate
Alliance.
that, Brett. Thank you.
John says this stab you in the heart. It would hurt less. Just saying.
They cannot let that man walk. They gotta re-sign him. The fans they need him there.
Multiple. I love it. All right. Next set of questions come from Hit. Our favorite troll who's not here today, unfortunately, because we're not live on YouTube today. Wasn't able to stream on both platforms today. I do apologize, guys. But Hit asks, so y'all happy about the Super Bowl picks? And do you think someone got paid off to have them in there? I mean, it is a business after all. No, I don't think anybody got paid off.
You would have to pay off the whole team. You would have to pay off the whole Lions at halftime to say, look, we're just gonna lose this game on purpose. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I just seen this comment.
Oh yeah, with the Saquon jersey, right? He'd be burning that Saquon jersey. I want to see Saquon. I want to see Saquon turn into LeBron and have a ESPN special. And just be like, I'm gonna take my running talents.
I'm gonna take my talents down to Dallas.
Down to Dallas, baby. Let's go.
I'm gonna take my running talents down to Jerry's World, But I'm telling you this: we get Saquon Barkley.
Right. Yeah.
We get a runner like Saquon Barkley. But I don't think that this Super Bowl situation was set up or anything like that. I think, honestly, the best teams made it.
Yeah.
Kansas City went through hell, and they did it on the road.
On the road. Yes, they did.
Baltimore didn't show up. Lamar Jackson was trying to be a pocket passer instead of using his legs.
I'm still, bro, like, what the hell were you doing? It reminds me of like when I was asking Dan Quinn, like, why were you running zone against the damn Packers when we played man all damn year? You know what I'm
And
saying?
was successful in man all damn year.
Hey, Rick.
All right,
Thank
Rick,
you,
have a
Rick.
good one, man.
We
We greatly
appreciate you,
appreciate you. Thank
brother.
you for the fan mail questions.
And for your
You already
trolling.
know. Have a great
Yes.
day.
Go Rough
With your
next.
wife, you guys. I hope you guys.
You'll never hear me say that again, by the way,
definitely-
Rick. Okay, that's just showing you love. You'll never hear me say go Rough next again, unless you're playing the Stallions. Then I'm
Ever.
all in. Then I'm all in.
Then we all for it. Any team
Yeah.
that plays the Stallions this season, I'm gonna go for. I'm just gonna say
That's
that.
right.
I'm letting y'all know that now. Screw the Stallions. Y'all aren't winning another championship now that this league is merged, and you're not gonna be a 3-time USFL champion. Even though it's conference now. He said I recorded it. He clipped it. Oh, that's a lifetime. Oh, he's got it for life. Oh, no. Oh, no.
We're going to have technical difficulties, and my screen's going to go off right now.
John says, bad officiating got some teams there. The NFL needs
but it was
XFL
bad
style
officiating
reviews.
all year, though. It was bad officiating
All
all
year
year
long.
from week one. So that's like
All year
saying like
long.
some of these teams only got in by bad officiating all year, but it was bad officiating. We saw games, bro, where that not only like me and you as Cowboys fans, we saw bad calls or missed calls against us and the other team. Like it was just
Exactly.
bad, like not even biasedly
It was
bad.
just horrible.
It was just horrible.
Horrible. One of the many reasons I prefer spring football officiating is the transparency. Yes, you can hear everything.
Yeah, I love that.
Nights are always hot.
I love the reviews, the way they do the reviews, and you can see them watching it and explaining what they're seeing in the video. That is so dope to me, bro. I dig that.
Yeah.
I really do.
Brett says, "Watch it, Stallions are king."
No. You want to talk about King? You want to talk about King? Hold on. Now you can make me pull up my damn phone again. You see, that's the King right there. That's the King right there. That renegade baby. Gonna tame those Stallions on March 30th, right? 30th. Yeah.
Yes, March 30th.
But for my
Spring
part,
football is also the GOAT. Yes.
For my part, with the with his question, no, obviously I don't think anybody was paid because, like I said, that collapse that the epic collapse that the Detroit Lions had in the second half, like you would have had. Oh yeah. You would have had to have gone in at halftime and told all those Lions players and their coaches, Dan Campbell, you know what? The NFL wants y'all to lose this game, so you need to just fall apart in the second half. And everybody would have to be on board with it. And no, that's not how it works. So just to answer his question on far as being paid, no, that I don't think. But I do think, of course, since the gambling thing came in, there's officiating that goes, they're trying to control spreads, point spreads, things like that. A lot of dirty money, that is influencing what the refs are doing. And unfortunately, it did cost some teams some games. You know what I mean? But I don't think, we've talked about it before, bro. Like, you would have, like a field goal kicker, kicking off, missing a kick that would probably put them ahead that hits the post. Like, you plan that? You can't plan that. You can't pay somebody to do that. You know what I mean? So it's just things like that. But yeah, as far as the officiating goes, though, I think it had
a lot.
It had enough of an impact throughout the entire season and postseason, bro, that there's so much backlash now that the NFL kind of has to look at it in the offseason. Because if they turn a blind eye another season to it, that's when we're going to start saying, okay, we get it. Y'all want the refs to be doing this. You know what I mean? Oh God!
We don't care what Tay thinks.
I was hoping we almost went the whole damn show without mentioning her, man. Damn.
And you know what pisses me off about the NFL too? They actually have a prop that you can bet on right now. This is so ridiculous. Will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl? That's a damn prop. That's a prop. Come on now. My uncle says from Vegas with love, no comment on the gambling. Yeah, I know. I know. Brett says I got a feeling the Bandit logo for the Arlington Renegades
I hope
will be
so.
back.
Everybody wants it back. Everybody wants that logo back
too.
That logo is so dope. And that one they had last year, I was like, what the hell is this? What's with the R?
Yeah,
I didn't like that, man.
that DR crap.
That
You have a
boring ass.
D
That
and an R.
boring ass freaking logo we had. Bring back the Bandit logo.
Bring back
That's
the
what we
bandit.
want, man.
Bring back
Yeah.
the bandit. But
So, but
I don't
think,
know. I
yeah,
like I said, I agree with you. I think it was more of bad officiating on against both teams that were playing in these different games where the officiating played a part in wins and losses.
yeah.
But as far as people getting
Unless,
paid to have these
yeah,
players or have these teams there, I don't believe it. I agree with my uncle right here. These teams
yeah.
earn their way in. They earn their way
And
in.
let's look
When you
at
have
those
the
two
number one
conference
seed go
championships,
down,
bro.
yeah, you have a number one seed go down to a team like
To the
Kansas City
defending Super
who
Bowl champs, yeah,
you can't
who are
ever
just
count out.
who they just become a different team come postseason. They do. They do. All those problems that they have certain games during the season for the Chiefs, that goes away because Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they just seem to get it come playoff time, bro. And that's why when the playoffs
Yeah,
started, I was predicting them and the Niners in the Super Bowl because I knew the Niners as the one seed. I just felt as a complete team. And let's be real though. Let's look at those conference championships. This is why I don't think there was nobody getting paid. You know, like I agree with your uncle. The best teams got in because Baltimore, there wasn't anybody paid
didn't
to lose
show
that
up.
game. You know what it was? It was their game planning. They got out coached. It's
Yep,
very rare that we say John Harbaugh got out coached, but he did. He tried to
definitely did.
turn Lamar Jackson 40 damn pass attempts, I believe. Was it 17 incompletions? Are you kidding me? That's
Yeah,
not what he
and they
does.
ran the ball like 6 times in the
Yeah,
second
they didn't
half.
have anybody over 10 carries. And Delvin Cook, who I don't know why y'all went and got him because he didn't have one carry in this game. I'm like,
It was
what?
just ridiculous.
I
I
didn't
love you, Unc.
understand it, bro. I didn't.
We'll see you later. Thank you for
Thank you,
pulling
Unc.
up
We appreciate you,
and
man.
being here.
But so that's what I think happened with that game. And the other game, let's just be real. The real Detroit Lions showed up in the second half because the Niners broke off the rust. You know, they were like, okay, it took them another week to get it off. But by that second half, the Niners were like, okay, now we're ready to go. Hell, bro, they tied the damn game halfway through the third quarter, man. Come
halfway
on.
through the third quarter, bro. And listen, y'all, I was talking so much crap in our
my brother was telling you
football
too,
chat.
we ain't done yet. Yeah. And I'm telling you, Jersey, it ain't over.
Gabe
Y'all
and his
don't
brother,
understand. Jersey was talking.
I'm like, if the 49ers keep letting them just run the ball all over them like this, they gonna lose.
At halftime,
I'm like,
Jersey's
game
like,
over.
at halftime,
And they're
Jersey's
both
like,
telling me, JP and I'm like, it's
brother
over.
Bobo,
I'm like,
yeah.
it's over. If they don't adjust, Bobo and Gabe was like, you're tripping, dog. So you're just saying the game's over now? And I'm like, well, if they keep letting them run the ball, you don't think that they're gonna adjust at halftime? Well, if
You're
they
like,
keep
nah. How you
the
gonna
ball
adjust
like
to the running
this,
game? I remember it. Jersey was like, how y'all? No, they ain't gonna adjust. How they gonna adjust to these running backs? And then my brother's in the chat, y'all. He's telling them, I'm not worried. He's like, I'm mad, but the way we're playing, because I know we could play better, but I ain't worried. And sure enough, what happened, man? It took the Niners all of 8 minutes into the third quarter, down 24-7 to tie the damn game, dude. And that's why I was like, Lions fans, where'd y'all go? Where'd you go? Because I ain't seen no Lions fans since that damn game. So, no, the best teams won. Just to answer the question here. Yeah.
Of course, my wife.
There's wifey up in the place. What is up, girl? Glad you can chime in and troll us a little bit, most especially trolling your man. That's all right.
Notice how much the league is showing that Bandit logo. On
Yeah, they are. They are. I think they're going to do it.
I think it is.
Yeah.
He said Dan Campbell should have been the MVP. I agree. Mister, I want to go for it on every fourth down. Every single fourth down, you're an idiot.
Dude, let me ask you something, bro. Like, would you agree with me in saying that we all love Dan Campbell's aggressiveness, right? But that aggressiveness is perfect for the regular season. But when you get this far in the playoffs, when you get to the NFC Championship and you are winning the game by double digits, add to your lead, bro. Kick the field goal. The aggressiveness lost this game. I'm sorry, it did. Because what was the difference? What was the point differential? And this isn't the first time it happened, y'all. And I just say this as a Cowboys fan. He left about 9 points on the board in that Cowboys game because he went for it in the red zone on 4th down. So you can be too aggressive when it comes to the playoffs. I love Dan Campbell, but I loved you even more this game, dog, because I'm tired of your fans and you lost the damn game and it was beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. Because you made everybody in Detroit feel like they had a chance, which they actually did. And then you just crumbled the chances by going for it on every 4th down. You crumbled y'all chances.
The worst part,
even with a double-digit lead.
Yes.
Come on now.
Yes.
Terrible coaching.
You what do you do there? Coaching. Add to your lead. And you know what this showed me, bro, was that they, just like the players and the fans for the Lions, the coaching was not used to being there on that stage. It's a whole different thinking you got to have. This wasn't Andy Reid coaching this team. This wasn't Shanahan, who's been there. You know what I mean? This wasn't Harbaugh. All those other 3 teams have been there, done that. They knew where they were at in the stage. And Dan Campbell, his aggressiveness showed his inexperience at this level of the playoffs. And it hurt his team.
You gotta
he came out and said, I don't regret it. Well, dog, what you're not regretting also costed your team, who played their asses off for you this year, to get here. You cost them that.
And y'all had the biggest upset in the playoffs, hanging in the balance.
And why did they stop running the ball with the lead?
Because Dan Campbell's a jackass.
I was like, do y'all got Kellen Moore out there calling plays for you? Because this looks like Kellen Moore out there.
Like,
right now,
what the
with
hell?
A big ass lead.
You had
passing the damn ball.
You got a 2-headed monster at running back.
Yeah.
You didn't have Jared Goff didn't have to do much in the first half.
Running, bro. Those running backs were Jahmyr Gibbs was balling.
Stick to the formula.
Yeah.
Stick to the formula, or beat the 49ers in a game that they have given up during the regular season. That screen game. That check down game. If you weren't able to get the runs off anymore, okay, check it down
in open
to your
space. Get Jahmyr Gibbs in open space.
Backs.
Yes.
You get Gibbs in open space. Oh my goodness, bro. He's going crazy. And if you not, it's like a Tony Pollard situation when we had Zeke still.
Yeah.
When we didn't need that power back, we put in Tony Pollard, dropped the ball down to him in the flat. He's got a 20, 30-yard gain. Hell, even 40, 50-yard touchdown off of a screen or a check down. So, Dan Campbell, you may not regret it, but you should, because you cost your team a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You had multiple
They were
times
rolling, bro. I mean, you have a 24-7 lead. You have a 24-7 lead at halftime. I'm sorry. Like, against a team, mind you, Shanahan, his record is horrible when trailing at halftime. This team is not built to come back. This Niners team is not built to come back from big leads, and they did it. And I got to say also, I got to give him credit for one thing. And yes, you're right about that, Britt. He learned nothing. But one thing that I respect him for is that he was real with his team. And I've been trying to tell Lions fans this, that have been trying to tell me, well, this is just the beginning. Look how far we got now. And I'm like, yeah. And that's what Jacksonville said after last year's playoff loss. That's what the Chargers said. That's what the Seahawks said. There is no given that y'all are going to be better next year. Nothing.
Exactly.
That's why when it came out that he told his team after the game, this was probably our last shot at this. He's being real. That's not what you want to hear after the game. It's like maybe bad timing, coach. Emotions are high. But he's basically telling them, look, I know y'all are sad right now, but I'm going to bring you down even more because this is the last time we're probably going to be here.
Yep. And the reason being contracts.
Yes.
Draft
free
picks.
Agency. Yeah.
Free agency.
Yeah.
Everything that's going on.
And, I mean, you may have just gotten the last great season out of Jared Goff. He's not getting any younger. You know what I mean? So, and Montgomery, I don't know if he's still going to be there. You know, you got Gibbs. Yes,
Right.
yes, you got your replacement. That's fine. You've got your receivers, and they're building something. But he is right because not only are the Lions looking to get better, but let's be real. The Packers showed that they're going to be a problem in that division next year. The Bears, I
Hell,
expect to be better. I expect the Bears to be
about
better.
to say the
And
Bears are
if
going to be
If
better.
the Vikings do something right at quarterback to replace Cousins, that's the way their defense came on, and with Jefferson coming back healthy, Vikings aren't going to be easy in that division either. So there's no guarantee that the Lions even win the division again next year.
Exactly, because just like Brett says, they're going to have a target on their
Exactly.
back
Exactly.
because they went to the NFC Championship, because they were the defending division champs. It's going to be harder to get back to this stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took y'all
It is.
since 1950 something to get back here. You don't think it could take longer? Look at our Cowboys. We have been waiting since January of 1995.
It took the Eagles over half a century to even win a Super Bowl. They got there again last year, and now look at them this year. Talk about a huge step back. So
And look at them
it
next
could
year.
happen.
Look how they're
It
going to
could
be
happen.
next year.
Yeah, it could happen with the
They
Lions.
got Kellen
bro.
Moore now.
The Lions are not going to
Yeah.
have an easy path in that division next year, bro. That division is going to be a lot better than it has been the last 2 years.
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you that much. And
Especially the
the
Bears.
Packers really impressed me too in the playoffs, though. The Packers literally
they
damn near took out the number 1 and 2 seed in back-to-back weeks. They came very close to doing that. Very close. So
Now, the 3 wild card spots makes it feel like anything is possible. I get
That's
what
true.
you're saying,
that's
but
true.
with these players coming out of college, especially the players that we've seen in this last year of college football that are going into the draft, Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., Drake Mayo, just to name a few. It's going to be harder to put together these rosters if you can't keep what you have already in place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to look at it from that perspective as well. And when it comes time for the playoffs in the NFL, it's a whole different part of the season. It's a whole different game. These games in the playoffs is nothing compared to just a regular season game. These games in the playoffs, it's like the NBA. It's a totally different season because now these games matter more. Now these games
Yes.
count more. You know what I mean? So it's going to be harder for teams who have good teams this year or the year before or the year before that to say, well, we're going to continuously make the playoffs. Look at Dallas. We've been making the playoffs how many times since we've had Dak
Exactly.
as our quarterback?
Exactly.
But he can't get us past the
Made
divisional
it with
round.
Romo. Made it with Romo too.
Made it with Romo.
I mean,
he
you
could
know,
get us past the divisional round.
It's not easy.
You know what I mean?
It's not easy to get there.
It's not.
People look at teams like Kansas City, you know, even the Niners, getting this far year after year, right? But look at how long it's taken the Niners doing that to get back to a Super Bowl. The Niners have been to a Super Bowl besides this year more recently than the Cowboys who we were just talking about. But it's still they have a year longer since they've won a Super Bowl. Shows you how difficult it is to do this. People take for granted, you know, they're like, oh, well, Brady did it year in, year out. Mahomes has done it. Yeah. And that's why those are special cases. Because these are guys that these are programs. These are certain, you know, you got the coach and the quarterback that just know how to get it done. Everybody else, bro, like us, is just trying. Like the Lions were trying to get to the playoffs. Dallas, we're used to being in the playoffs. Now we're just trying to freaking get farther than the damn divisional round. Shit.
John, you ain't shit for that.
Hey, you know what? No. We don't need VHS. That's what we got YouTube for, baby. I'll go back and relive all of that. I don't care. I was like, I was 17 years
but
old.
To wrap it up, bro, in wrapping paper and actually give it to someone as a Christmas gift.
That's funny. That's trolling at an elite
beyond at
level.
The highest
at an elite
level.
You know what, John?
Oh,
John. I give you
Round of applause, Brett.
I can't tell Brett nothing for this because it's true. This And let's be real, Jersey. Let's be real. Number 2 seed, okay, at home, haven't lost in 2 years against the number 7 seed Packers. This was probably the big against a defense which was supposed to be elite, our defense this year. And I don't know if you would agree with me, bro. I think you will as a Cowboys fan, but in all the recent playoff history I can remember from Romo to Dax years, this has to be based on our situation that I just said. Number 2 seed, we're at home, we haven't lost at home, everything is in place. This has to be the biggest letdown that the Cowboys have given us in a long time, bro, to be honest, based on the expectations because of the situation going into that first round.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So, yeah, to answer that question for you, Hit, because I will be replaying this on YouTube. We'll be uploading a video on YouTube. But to answer that question, no one got paid. Everyone deserved where they got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone deserved what they got. Oh, you're a Bears fan? Oh, that's terrible.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. But you said the Cowboys are now cursed. No, we not.
Nah.
No, we not.
Nah, we broke that curse with Jimmy Johnson getting in the Ring of Honor. You know.
And we broke that curse when Jimmy Johnson went off on their ass at halftime.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if you see Jimmy Johnson on the sideline after Mike McCarthy's contract's up. Hell,
Jimmy's heart couldn't take it. Jimmy's heart couldn't take it. He looked like he was ready to have a heart attack on national television. Damn.
But let's go on to this next question. I think I'm gonna save the last 2 questions for next week for Hits fan mail. I'm gonna just save the last 2 questions for next week, and because we're at 3 hours already, guys. But it says, what are your goals for this coming season of the UFL after the Super Bowl hangover? And yes, Gabe, you will use your prediction powers. Goals
Go
for
ahead.
this coming season. Get through the season successfully. Fans show support. Fans show up to the games. Fans buy decently priced merchandise. Because these $189.99 jerseys, no. Y'all can
more
keep
expensive than the Cowboys than the freaking NFL jerseys. It was ridiculous, bro.
Exactly. So we don't need those crazy, outrageous numbers for merchandise. $189.99.
Let us support the league by understanding that y'all have a kind of working mid-class group of people supporting your league. So price your stuff accordingly, damn it. What the hell, man?
Damn, you're a Crimson Tide fan. You're a Faker fan.
What? Dude. You know what?
I'm okay with the Braves.
I'm sorry. No, but Alabama, Lakers, Stallions? No. Braves too.
Yes, I remember the Super Bowl shuffle, bro. What? John says new sponsors not related to The Rock or Danny Garcia's company. I would like to see that too.
Yeah,
I would love to see that.
You need outside sponsorship. You need, but I mean, you still need their connections.
Here's why.
Too. You know what I mean?
Here's why. He's from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Titletown? Whoa. We gonna slow that down.
No more Nick Saban. Nick Saban's gone now.
Nick Saban's gone. I mean, but you do got Kalen DeBoer. DeBoer. So, I mean, he did take Washington to the national championship.
I don't care. They still didn't belong in that playoff this year.
You know? Oh, you're 5 miles away from Bryant Denny Stadium. Okay. So yeah, you're good to, that's why you're
I think the fan support has to be there. To me, if the fan support is there for the league this year, that's a success. Because it's going to be the fans that make or break this league. The fan support. Does the fan base grow? It has to. You have to have the fan support in the stands, and you have to have the fan support, most importantly, on TV. But not the only importance, because the fans in the stands actually supports the ratings. You know what I mean? Somebody's flipping to a
Hmm.
TV, they're not a fan of the league, but they're a football fan, and they're like, "Oh, what is this?" If there's nobody in the stands, they're like, "Oh, this must be like some kind of Division 3 game in NCAA. I'm gonna change the damn channel." You know what I mean? So there has to be fans in the stands, and that's going to draw more support for the ratings. But I'm with you. To me, number one, fan support. That's what's going to make it a
Fan support,
success. Yeah.
reasonable ticket prices so that the fan support can be where you want it to be. You know what I mean? Reasonable merchandise prices, the whole nine. We got stadiums. That's out the way. We don't have to worry about that. And they're in our respective teams' home cities. So we don't have to worry about people having to travel far as hell to go to a game.
Yeah.
So that's one problem that was going on last year for the USFL. But again, it has to be reasonable prices. The fans have to go and support. The fans have to be willing to buy the merchandise. The fans have to be willing to fill up these stadiums so that
Yeah.
when people are watching, flipping through the channel like you were just saying, and they go to stop at this game, oh, this is a UFL game. Damn, this look like an NFL game. Look how many people is in the stands. Oh, this look
Yes.
like a college game. Look
Exactly.
how many people's in the stands. Oh, let me check this out. Let me see what all the hype's about. And the next thing you know, you got a NFL fanboy or a college football and NFL fanboy that then took their remote and they done. Oh yeah. Oh, UFL. Boop. And now every week, oh, UFL's on. Boop. UFL's on. Let me turn on this game. And then next thing you know, they're starting to post it on their social medias. Hey, I checked out this UFL game between the Birmingham Stallions and the Arlington Renegades. The whole stadium was packed. People were even standing up. There were so many people at this game, and the game was exciting to watch. Boom! Now you're reeling in new fans, reeling them in. Now that's more support for the league. Now that's more merchandise being bought. Now that's more people saying, "Oh, let me choose a team to root for." You know what I mean? Yeah, it's only got 8 teams in the league right now, but this used to be the XFL and the USFL separately. Now they're together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we understand this was from a business standpoint on why they couldn't bring in all 16 teams. Not all 16 teams had a field to play at. Not all 16 teams had a good market. So a lot is going to come into play, but the goals that we're looking for as fans, it starts with us.
Yes, exactly. And that's what,
It starts with us.
yeah. So basically, yes, that what will make it a success is if we see the fan base grow. You know what I mean? And I give credit, Brett, what you've done with your group. I was there, me and Jersey were there when you just started this group, and I've seen it grow. So your page probably has been the most important fan page on Facebook to grow the fan base. So that's what we got to do. You know what I mean? So that's what we got to do. We got to let's help this thing grow. Let's get the word out. And now we just got to hope too, and I think it will. But we got to hope that the play on the field lives up to our hype, and I think it will because we're taking the best players from the last season between the two leagues.
Congratulations, Brett.
Yeah.
You said I'm getting more member requests right now than what I did 60 days before kickoff in XFL 2020. That is an awesome sign. That's not just a great sign. That is an awesome sign. That means more and more people got their eyes on the UFL. That NFL promotion is helping a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of people that are.
And Brett, that becomes a lot of people to manage posts, man. So if you need some admins to help you kind of weed out the bad people, just let me know. I got a Cowboys page I run with over 10,000 followers, so I could try to do that. You know, Jersey's always gonna be there. We just make sure, because the more people you get in, the more nonsense starts getting spewed, and then you start getting people at each other. And then there's certain ones you got to be like, all right, dog, you're breaking the rules. We need to get you out of here. But it becomes hard to follow every single thing when you have so many people, and it's growing. And I guarantee you, Brett, your group's going to grow even more when the season starts. That's going to be even bigger.
And Arlington and A-Train and Dirty and the B-Hawk Live Camp and just everything that they've started with the X-Fan Show, and then all these, the Legion, you know, everything we're doing together, all these different pages, this is going to help boost the league's attendance, in my opinion. This is
Yeah.
going to help boost the league's
Yeah.
viewership.
Because everybody's on social media and it's free.
Hmm.
So
And the
that's what
more they
we're
keep
doing, you know?
seeing posts about the UFL, UFL this, UFL that, UFL this, UFL that, bro, we have no reason to fail.
Yeah.
The only way we fail is if this shit gets rushed to the point where it's just thrown together at the last second. And I don't think
Yeah.
that we're at that point.
No, I think
I don't think that we're at that
I
point.
think the fact that they're dropping a schedule tomorrow is just gonna get the hype going. People are gonna start talking now. You're gonna see it.
Monday.
Everybody's gonna be start talking. Monday, excuse me. Yeah, it's gonna start talking. So we're ready to go, baby. We're ready to go.
Mhm. So I think the goal is honestly fan support, fan viewership, and it's this time around. This time around, you know how Danny Garcia last year for the XFL was saying it's about the fans. This is for he, she,
This
her,
time it
him,
really
and all
is
that.
about the fans now.
This is
It
actually about
really
the
is.
fans
Yeah, because
because we are
it's not
going
gonna
to
work
make
without us.
or
Yeah,
break this league. And
yeah.
if we don't
We've
all
been
go out and
talking.
support,
We've been talking
it
all
won't work.
episode long about investors, advertisers. That's only going to come with what? Fan support, ratings, and
Mhm.
fans showing up. Everything else that will make the league successful will come because of the
Yep,
fan
in
support,
due time.
or it will stay away because of the lack of it. So that's the bottom line.
Exactly. And you've heard it here first on the Gridiron Podcast Show with your boys, Jersey the King, Double G, OG Double G. Make sure you say
That's
it
right.
right.
That's right. That's right.
Gabriel Garcia, the wicked one. You know
The
what I
wicked
mean?
one.
But last thing for the day, we're going to jump into a new topic of the week. I asked this question on Facebook, and I didn't get any replies. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't get any replies. So let's see what you guys in the chat have to say about this. What is your favorite movie genre and why? Wait, I live in Tuscaloosa where almost nothing but XFL and USFL. See, and that's what's gonna help. I'm not even gonna lie, not to jump back and forth, but that's gonna be very helpful. Very helpful. I wear my Vegas Vipers hat and my Vegas Vipers shirt all the time, and I represent it here in Las Vegas. And people be asking me, "Who the hell is Vegas Vipers?" What? You XFL? Vince McMahon, The Rock? No. Oh, that alternative. No, it's spring football. Get it right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
an alternative football league, but it's spring football. Damn it. Oh, you talking about that minor league? Whoa, whoa.
That's
It's
pro
professional
football.
football. It's pro football. That's all I can say. It's pro football. But yeah, what's your favorite movie genre and why? This is the topic of the week. I wanted to go a little off topic. Our two off topic questions by hit. We're gonna say for next week. So hopefully we can be on YouTube and or both platforms, and we'll be able to have hit back on the show so you can get his troll on. But what's your favorite movie genre, guys, and why? Mine. I'm gonna let Gabe go first.
Mine is I love all genres obviously, but historical dramas are my favorite. It doesn't always have to be 100% accurate. Like my favorite movie of all time is Braveheart. Just have a thing for the historical stuff, anything old west, stuff based on ancient times, feudal Japan. It doesn't matter, man. Like if you give me a good historical drama, it doesn't even have to be based on a real person. All right, like the series that I really love a lot is The Last Kingdom, and it takes place in the time of King Alfred, the Vikings. If y'all have seen it, if you haven't, go and watch it. I guarantee you'll love it. But the main character is a fictional character, Uhtred. So I love anything that has to do with historical drama. I love seeing these movie studios recreate a setting for a certain time period and the timepiece one. So my number one would be historical dramas, but there's a very close second for me. Maybe it's a 1B, and that would be sci-fi fantasy because Lord of the Rings is my love it. So that's what I got for you, bro. Historical dramas, but fantasy and sci-fi is right there with it. Right there with it.
Okay. Okay. Now, for me, sci-fi and fantasy is my number one. I am a huge Marvel fan. I'm a huge DC fan. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So I could watch a Marvel, DC, or Star Wars movie over any other movie any day of the week, over any other genre any day of the week. I am huge on. I call in the gaming world, I am the gaming Black Panther. Okay, I am Wakanda forever. Okay, my logo is literally me as the Black Panther with an anime face. Okay, holding a PS5 controller with my claws out. So literally, when I say I am a huge fan of Marvel, DC, and Star Wars, I could watch any of those movies or shows over anything else on TV, movie genre wise, any day of the week, or TV genre wise. That's just me. Then my close second is horror movies, because I don't know what it is about me, but bro, when I watch horror films, that shit cracks me up. When the way people
So you see him as a comedy?
Yes. I literally be watching these horror movies, and some of them I don't get scared at all. Like, there's no jump scare for me or none of that. It is literally, did you just see that? Did you just see how far they flew?
Yeah, you know what? I'll bet you you're that dude that's watching a horror movie and you're looking and you're like, look, he's still breathing. He's still breathing. That actor sucks. Look at his stomach. I saw his little eye twitch.
Yeah, that would be me.
He's supposed to be dead.
Bro, yeah. Like, my wife will sit here and watch movies, right? And we'll both be like sometimes we'll watch movies that you look at the trailer and you'll be like, man, what the hell is it? Like on some Sharknado type of deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could tell this damn shark is CGI'd out. It's so bad that all you can do is laugh. The way these people get killed in these movies, all you could do is laugh. Like, I laugh at Saw films, bro. The way they get killed in the Saw movies, I'm laughing.
And you know that's my thing with horror movies, bros. There was a time where like they don't make horror movies like they used to. You know what I mean? The 80s was real good with them, but like it became like when Saw came out, it became less about horror, more about gore. Like to where you're just like, not scared, but you're like, and then we've seen a few here and there. Like I think one that I really like a lot is Grave Encounters. That one kind of like made me jump a little bit.
Yeah.
But my girls like you. Like we sat down and watched Paranormal Activity a long time ago when it came out, and I'm sitting there watching and she's just freaking laughing at shit. She's laughing at the way her freaking girl's being thrown around by some damn ghost. And I'm like, are you seriously laughing right now? And she's like, yeah, it's funny to me.
It's hilarious. Like Evil Dead Rising.
Yeah.
Mommy's with the maggots now. I cried. I love that part of the movie itself because that shit was so funny.
Yeah.
The little girl was like, "Mommy," and she hopped above the tub like, "Mommy's with the maggots now."
Yeah. Hey, you know what though? Hey,
facial expression.
You know, like there's certain movies though, like The Ring. The Ring, the whole damn movie bored me, but I ain't gonna lie. That scene, the iconic scene where she is crawling out, had me like, oh shit. Do I need to back up a little bit?
Now
that part, that was dope. That part, that made
I can't lie.
Fun. Yeah.
That was probably one of the last movies that gave me chills when it came to like,
that scene was cool
part.
as hell, bro. Yeah.
That was man. Now every time I go by, every time I'm near, I've ever went past a wishing well or anything like that, I'd be like, shit got a lid on it.
Yeah.
Anybody gonna crawl out of there? Are they? All right, just making sure. You know what I mean? But yeah, I really watch horror movies now just to laugh and see how they make them. You know, like I I laugh at The Conjuring, even though The Conjuring are some of the movies have been a little freaky.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say scary. They've been a little freaky, like holy shit. You know what I
And
mean?
I think a lot of them are the ones that do really good, like kind of like the way the Sinister is and stuff. Or those ones that it's not just about jump scares, but it kind of like messes with your head a little bit too. Like,
it's
you know what I
about
mean?
that.
It's
Like,
the whole mind thriller thing too. You know, also thrown in with the little jump scares. That's why I bring up Sinister, because it was a lot of that. It was a lot of the mind screwing with your mind thing, but then there was those little jump parts where you're like, oh crap. You know
now
what I
there
mean?
have been some horror movies that have made me jump. I can't say I've been scared or terrified or anything, because hell, I still laugh at Chucky.
Yeah. Yeah,
Freddy
Chucky was
Krueger. I
funny.
couldn't stand Freddy Krueger
You
when I
remember
was a kid.
Leprechaun back in the day? Remember Leprechaun?
Never has been scary to me. Always has been hilarious. Leprechaun
hilarious.
was never.
I remember
scary.
they did. What was it, like part 3, that it was Leprechaun in the Hood, and I was like, man,
That
y'all
was
are trying
Leprechaun
way too
4.
hard now.
Leprechaun in the Hood. Yeah, and I'm like,
Oh,
you've
my
really got
God.
this, man. You've
That
really
was
got
funny
this
as hell.
little midget
running around the
around the
hood.
hood, just killing gangbangers and stuff and drug dealers. Like, stop it. Y'all are killing me.
Good
I
stuff,
can't
man.
like I've
Nah.
tried to, Brett.
Yeah.
I've tried to, and it's just
it's
funny.
Yeah, to me it is.
But
You know why?
I can't
Because
say
none
it's
of them
funny.
have ever
It's
found
always
it.
funny.
My little brother had a phase as a teenager where he was really into ghost hunters. Like, he wouldn't miss an episode. And after like so long into it, I remember asking him one night, "Yo, bro, why do you watch this?" He's like, "Cause it's cool." I was like, "Let me tell you something. You seen every episode?" He says, "Yes." I said, "Have they ever found definitive proof?" And he looks at me. He stays quiet. He goes, "No." Then why the hell are you watching it? That's why I like Grave Encounters, the movie, because it's based on like a fake show, and they don't think that they're going into something really haunted, and ends up being a total disaster for them. But yeah, I'm not into that though. I'm not into that. Unless it's if you bring me a show and they're like, they found definitive proof, you need to watch this, then I might catch my interest. But
That was the iconic line from
That's the
Leprechaun in
line.
the Hood.
Yes.
A friend with weed is a
I
friend
love that.
indeed,
Brett
but a
Brett
friend
got
with
that
gold
shit.
is a true
That's
friend, I'm told.
dope. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I loved it, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, and
But yeah.
horror movies are cool for me. You know, they're just not up there for me. Of course, I like comedies. I'm sure you do too. Of course, we
Yeah, I
love
love
the
comedies.
anime. I guess my thing with I think the sci-fi, it's more particular to fantasy movies, which is why I love Lord of the Rings. You get me something in there with some freaking swords and sorcery, some wizards, some magic and dragons and castles, baby, I am there. I don't care how low budget it is. Give me a good story, Harry Potter. Damn right.
I'm a Gryffindor house kind of guy,
And I think
And
maybe that ties
puff.
into my love for historical dramas, because at the times of like medieval times, stuff with castles and knights and stuff. I just love all of that, bro. All of that I don't know. It just does.
I do as well.
You know what I mean?
But my superhero movies, it takes the cake for me.
I'll tell you one thing, bro.
Finally getting to see those comic book characters.
Growing up, bro, my favorite comic book character I loved so much. I loved like Iceman, all these different ones, but Iron Man was always my dude. So I remember when I first found out that they were doing an Iron Man movie, and they announced that Jon Favreau was going to direct it, all this stuff. And when I first found out about it, I said, it was 2 years before the movie was going to be released. And I said, I counted the days, bro. 2 years. Freaking opening night, midnight release. I was there. And I got to tell you, bro, the reason Marvel, y'all, blew up the way it did is because of how freaking good they did Iron Man. I mean, the effects, the suit. Robert Downey, are you kidding me? Robert Downey killing that role. He killed that role.
Yeah, he did it.
So
no one else could have played Iron Man better.
No. And it was that made me say, oh, this is going to be a thing. You know what I mean? Like the comic books movies now are here. Like, this is we're about to do this. And since then, you're right, bro. Like, everything, even the DC stuff, bro. Like, people hate on the whole. I loved, Superman versus Batman. I love that movie. Loved it.
That was Dawn of Justice or whatever that movie.
Yeah,
You
dude,
like that?
what? I loved it. I loved it. I loved. I loved it. I loved Man of Steel. Loved it. Loved Wonder Woman, the first one.
Man
The
of Steel was
Batman
good.
movies, I love them. You know what I mean?
Part
I
two
I did.
of Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, I wasn't
Trash.
not. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Throw that in
And
the garbage.
like, and even the first Aquaman. I haven't seen the second one yet, but I liked the first Aquaman. So the
Oh, you're
DC's
gonna
done
love
some
the
things.
second
The
one.
DC's done some things right. It's just been Warner Brothers handling of it all that's been the whole trash aspect, and now they got a bad reputation. And I hate you for that, Warner Brothers, because damn it, Blue Beetle was such a good movie, and it did
That
so
movie was
bad.
off
It
the
bombed
hook.
in theaters because it's not because it didn't bomb because it's a bad movie. It bombed because people do not trust the DC brand with Warner Brothers right now. That's why.
Mhm.
And Blue Beetle was so good, bro. I loved it,
Blue
especially
Beetle
you
was
know, yeah,
really, really good.
it was.
You
It
brought
was.
the Latina Hispanic aspect into it, the heritage. Everything about that movie was just so
Yeah,
captivating and
yeah.
it pulls you to that movie. I watched that movie so many times just because the first time I watched it, I was like,
You know, and
yo,
and when you look at the comics, the character of Jaime Reyes, Zolo Maridueña, who played him, he nailed the character, like the
yeah, he
personality of
did.
him, so good, man. So if y'all ain't seen it, go watch it. But I'm with you, bro, on the superhero movies, man. Like, I mean, everybody's
And
like,
I'm
oh, we're getting tired of them. I'm like, not me.
not
when's
me.
the when's the
Me.
next
I
one
can't
coming,
wait to
man?
the next one.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
yeah.
bringing Doctor Doom finally into the MCU, bringing the X-Men into the MCU,
I'm
Deadpool
ready.
3
I'm
is
ready
going
for
to be
Deadpool 3,
off
baby.
the
Yes,
hook.
yes.
We finally get to see Hugh Jackman in the iconic yellow and blue Wolverine suit. Are you
You know what I
serious?
love? What
Come
I hope
on
he
now.
does. You know what I can't wait to see is that Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, just very serious, very no nonsense, and to see him having to deal with Ryan
With
Reynolds as,
Deadpool.
as Deadpool, it's gonna be
And
freaking
a
hilarious.
talking Deadpool,
It's gonna
a
be
talking
hilarious, bro.
Deadpool
Yes, it is.
compared to the one
Freaking
in
hilarious.
Wolverine
I'm just
Origins where
yeah.
the Deadpool they couldn't talk. You got a talking Deadpool now with a serious as hell Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. This is going to be off the chain.
And
It's going to be one of the best
that's
movies
not
ever.
even what we've got coming, like with the new Daredevil series. And I love, bro, that Disney finally made the Netflix
Have a good one, Brett.
series. Thank you,
Part
Brett.
of
I love
canon.
I love that they made them canon because now they can bring
Yeah.
those. Because I used to tell my boy Jay, we used to talk about these shows every episode, and I would tell him, bro, Luke Cage is a character that belongs with the big time guys, the big time superheroes,
The
not just street
Defenders,
level,
period,
Yeah, the Defenders. Period. I mean, come on, can you
need to
imagine?
be
There's
there.
there's bro, we have an opportunity that we could see the possibility of that arc that they did in comic books of Team Red, which was Deadpool, Daredevil, and Spider-Man, and it was freaking hilarious. I remember
Hmm.
because of the personalities all clashing. But there is a possibility that we could see that in the MCU.
In live action.
Team Red,
Yep.
and it would be so dope. And it's what makes this, like you say, your love of superhero movies, what makes it so exciting, bro, because we're looking at all these decades and decades of comic book stories, and now they
Yeah.
can just bring it all to us, bro, and we're here for it. We're living in a great
And I'm
time in
excited.
terms of movies, bro. I love it.
I'm excited for Madam Web,
Yeah.
February 14th. If you want to take your wife somewhere, your girlfriend somewhere, or your boyfriend somewhere for Valentine's Day, go watch Madam Web. And then go watch the Bob Marley movie right after.
There you go.
Just
There you
saying.
go. There you
Just
go.
saying. But John, take care, brother. Thank you.
Thank
Really
you, John.
appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here
Long live
too.
the
I think
UFL.
everybody gotta
Yes,
get out
sir.
of here.
Yeah, we definitely got to get out of here. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you go and check out Double G's social media pages for sure. Email your fan mail questions for Gridiron Nation podcast, which will be this week on Tuesday or Wednesday. Make sure you follow the socials.
Gmail.com. Yes.
Make sure you follow the socials to be able to know when the show will
Yes.
be, whether
Yes.
we're going to be live.
I will
or
be
if
doing
you're
a
going
live
to
stream
just be
this Tuesday. I will be doing a live stream. So
See,
Well,
so there you
let's
go.
do that. Let's do that.
Mail in your fan mail questions to gridironnationpodcast@gmail.com. That's gridironnationpodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like to send in your fan mail questions for the Gridiron, right there, the Gridiron podcast@gmail.com as well. And I think that's about it. You guys already know all of our socials, the show's socials. They're posted all over YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. So make sure you guys go and check out all the different socials: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X, whatever you call it, the whole nine. If you'd like to join my Discord, you can join the Kingdom Discord. Just hit me up on Facebook or Twitter, and I will send you the link. And we're going to get out of here for the week, man. But it was a great show. We went almost 4 hours today. Was not expecting to do this whatsoever.
Damn.
But
Hey, that's what happens when you got good fan interaction, though, man.
You're damn right. And we couldn't have done it without you guys, man. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in and supporting the Gridiron Podcast Show the way you do. Thank you for supporting Gridiron Nation. Thank you for supporting myself and Double G, OG Double G, Gabe Garcia, man. We're grateful to all of you guys. Go get you some merch. The Gridiron has a merch store, and it has its own merch store. There is no other merchandise on there but the Gridiron merchandise. So make sure you go and check out the new merchandise store. I've reposted the link today on the my Facebook page. So make sure you guys go and check out the Gridiron Podcast Show's merch store. Go and get you some merch. If you'd like to support the channel by donating, you can do so as well. Just go hit up the YouTube page and you can get all the donation information as well. But again, we want to thank you guys for another amazing show, another amazing week of conversation. Be ready for that UFL schedule coming out Monday morning, and we will be posting it all over. You already know we will.
I'll touch a bit on it on Tuesday, but best believe I'm gonna save the in-depth talk about that for next week's episode of the Gridiron, where we're gonna break down the whole schedule, baby. And we want y'all in the comment section to do it with us. All right,
Gabe, take us out, brother.
Yeah, and that's what we got for you guys today. So as we get ready, we're in that kind of limbo week right now during the Super Bowl, where we get that week off before the Super Bowl, and then next week everybody's going to be all up in the Super Bowl, man. But it's going to be a crazy week in football. But as far as what we got, that's for fun for all of us talking football. But what we do in our real lives, man, that's a whole different story. Every one of you that's in the comments, I don't know your story, what you got going on in life, but it is what it is. We're here having a good time talking and doing what we do to get our minds off of all the BS that life throws at us every single week. You know what I mean? So all I got to tell you guys, we're going to send you into the week, you know what I mean, with a positive message, man. No matter what life's throwing each and every one of you, like I said, we don't know your story, but that's okay. We know you here, and that's what matters, all right, when you're here. But as you go out there and you start your week, man, no matter what y'all are facing every single day this week, just be sure to get back up, look life in the eye, and tell me, man, I didn't hurt. That didn't hurt. Do it again. And the more life's throwing punches at you, you're going to evolve. You're going to adapt. You know what I mean? Because in the words of the great Bruce Lee, all y'all got to do is be water, my friends.
We will see y'all next week. Holla at your boys. This is the Gridiron Podcast.
One love.
See ya.
I told you I'm here to get it, cause baby I'm in my prime. So if you want it, come with it, nobody dimming my shine. Been a long time, homie, since I first got down. Still on top of my game, forever play to the crowd. When I'm in front of a mic and I'm in the spotlight, the Gridiron, man, we taking y'all on a flight. Always coming for the hardcore, this is what I work for. Got a feeling for some more, they yelling encore. Verbally, I'm bringing heat to the streets. The flame spitter, my squad, nothing but winners, and you'll never see a quitter. Cause adversity is part of the plan. Just as sure as you go, always bob your head to the jam. So turn your volume up, you can see me up on your screen. Kicking knowledge like you need it, y'all some football fiends. Bringing heat at 100, we the realest around. Welcome to the Gridiron, baby, it's going down now. Like the music buzzing and amps. When I hit the end zone, fans are rocking the stands. Cause I'm an all-known until the break of the dawn. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the film. It's the battle hymn, homie, gonna bang in your ear. And when they hear it, they gon' know the Kings is here. All-known until the break of the dawn. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the film. here to get mine, never gonna dwell on the past. Always moving forward, I won't take my foot off the gas. And I'm ready for the battle and whatever may come. I fight from up in the saddle, go and beat that war drum. If you want some, get some, wicked about to get dumb. Got the crowd getting loud, everybody heads sprung. Hitting hard and coming stronger like a buck from a cage. Like Micah, I'm a lion busting out of my cage. Cause y'all ain't holding me now, I'll break your bury you down. Go and check your books, cause there ain't no play to be found. They can counter what I'm bringing, you ain't figure me out. Hitting suckers from their gut to their chest and their mouth. And now we steady climbing up to the top. You trying to get on our level, they watch your ass get dropped. Yo, it's your boy on the track, the OG double G. I'm rolling with the heavy hitter, yeah, that's Jersey the King.
Let's get it.